The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
I had something really nice to say about my Trick or Treat Radio co-host, much in the way I wrote a very nice letter to the Deadites today. But as soon as I sat down, they reminded me that they are idiots. So fuck those guys and welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 159 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is a phantasmagorical spin kick straight through the heart of pop culture. Navigated by the Deadites. The Deadites are the world's greatest electroshock band. We destroy monsters, we drink booze, we win championship belts, and apparently our hosts pose with Miller High Life 40s.
Yeah, we do.
What the fuck are you guys doing?
Listen,
Look at that. Look, it's got a plastic screw-on cap, like it's a bottle of soda, for Christ's sake.
it's actually like Fisher Price, my first 40. It's fucking plastic.
It's no Heffenweiser?
Heffenreffer or Heffenrecker. Listen, I had fucking 3 beers ready to go for
Already?
the show. No, I had them in a bag. I had them in a bag when I left this morning, and I must have forgotten the bag, so I had to stop and get something. I had $5
No,
on me.
you didn't forget the bag. You're fucking in it.
Oh, shit.
A lot of bag controversy. My bag of Fresca spilled over when I left the room.
See?
Yeah.
Look at this.
Isn't it amazing that the only one who can't drive is, other than Wolfie, maybe the only one who should?
Yeah, I love going out with Wolfie back in the day because he always drove.
So you could drink?
Yeah.
You could smoke in the bars. You could be a grown-up.
You're your designated driver, man.
Yeah, I loved it. You want to go out this weekend?
Sorry, I'm busy.
You might have to be his designated driver after the show.
After this show?
Yeah.
got one.
Of
No,
course, it probably takes about 80 of those things for him to get drunk.
That's why he parks a mile away.
Yeah.
so the alcohol can get out of his system a lot quicker.
That's a fucking... That's a 40, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, you're living the high life right now.
Damn,
He
yeah.
is.
Yeah, it's a good breakfast beer.
What?
Not so bad. Everything about that.
You should put
In
a
this
nipple
life-
on
You
it.
drink the worst
Yeah,
beer.
in this light, that beer looks
You-
exactly like what it fucking tastes like.
Listen, it was $2.39 and I was late to the show.
Yeah, $2.39. I hope that if you gave them $2.39, I hope that they gave you $2.48 change back.
No, I had exact change. You gonna sit?
No. I'm just checking. The whole thing is plastic. The cap is plastic. The bottle is plastic.
It's like a 2 liter.
I don't know why I find that interesting, but I do.
Yeah, you know,
That's
it's
funny to me.
I love this picture that Marz took. It says #dummies. Oh my god, look at this fucking thing. You better change that your profile picture.
You are so glad that you were married because you would never meet any ladies or men.
Or men.
sucks.
What are you talking about? He's been like this for years.
Yeah.
Years and years and years.
No,
Luckily,
I've seen him around his wife. He cleans up. some.
His wife.
No.
Have you?
Yeah, before one
Well,
time.
your wife drinks beer, though, right?
Yeah,
Or
good
does she
beer,
drink
probably.
wine? Or
No, she don't. She's fine. She functions.
No, I didn't ask if she functions. We know she functions.
She's fine and functions in my.
Yeah, no, she's cool. She's cool. She diversifies. You know.
What?
We have 2 people hanging out in chat room already. We got Cornjob.
Are they mad at me too?
Cornjob.
Cornjob.
Cornjob says you stink cocks.
I think I know who Cornjob is.
And then Doug W, Reservoir Dog's hanging out
That's
again.
my boy.
He says, hey, it's a champagne of beers. Might as well come in a big bottle.
There you go, Doug. Do it.
Miller High Life should actually just come in a fucking box.
Yeah. Beer
No, in a
box.
bag. A plastic bag.
Like a colostomy bag and have it hooked to your side or something.
It should be like one of the fucking, what are those things called? Capri Sun?
Oh,
One of
lunch
those.
boxes.
A big wet towel. Just
Yeah, it should come in like a mouthwash shaped bottle because that's the next step.
Yeah.
All right, James Brown.
Yeah.
Who's going chicken hunting?
There, I'll open the shades for you, Ravenshadow. You can look outside.
Open the fucking windows. It's fucking hot.
Oh shit, man.
All right, so tonight, episode 159, we have some fun stuff coming up. We do have a guest, not a guest co-host, but we have a guest that we're going to interview later on.
Yeah, no stunt tiny tonight, which means the show is 25% less smart.
Well, I think we've had a pretty good run, guys.
Yeah, but
Last few weeks.
Not because of anybody on this end of the table.
Which
No,
goes
no,
to
no.
show you how smart you are. If Tiny isn't here, then it's 20% less smart.
Stephanie's in chat rooms just says, ugh. Oh, El Goro posted the Shockmaster photo. So I just wanted to get some feedback, actually.
Yes.
She just posted it up about an hour ago. Myra, she says, I finally caught up on my Trick or Treat radio.
Nice.
Number one, Wendi was a fantastic guest last week.
She's the best.
Are there any links to any of her bands? I would love to hear.
I think that they are in...
Well, let's tag her and see if
Yeah,
she can.
I think there's a link in the show notes on one of my posts.
Okay. And she said, glad Joe called in. I like to hear him argue with Marz.
Yeah, you're alone.
Number three, why do people that talk about being involved in threesomes are the very people you don't ever want to picture being involved in threesomes or even a twosome?
That's not true.
Well, you know she's not talking about me.
She doesn't want to picture you, Ravenshadow.
Didn't say me.
You're the one that always brings it up.
No, he brought it up.
Who you pointing at?
The other one.
Oh, okay.
And then I answered, and then you jumped in.
Yeah,
all three of us
that's
Oh,
almost
you
sounds
guys
like
are a
threesome. Save some room for me, guys.
That was a weird April show.
Whoa, Cornjob. Chill
My
out,
life
man.
is terrible.
Cornjob said doesn't matter if Ravenshadow drinks the highest of high quality beers, he's still a cunt blood bubble.
All right, slow it down there, Cornjob.
Jeez, I don't
Wow.
even. Can I even say that?
I think you
too
just
late.
did.
Yeah, you fucking blow your father with that mouth?
Jesus
Jiminy
Christ!
Crickets.
Remember, children.
Man.
Trapped in time like a bucket of John. No matter where you go, there you are.
That's on like G.G. Allen level kind of language right there, man.
There are two people on G.G. Allen level in the world. One of them sitting next to me, and one of them's dead. He's G.G. Allen. Like, no one else. Like, G.G. Allen would be only other person who was like, oh, I've watched sounding videos.
All right, on the show tonight, we're going to review the film from Artsploitation Films and director, I think I'm going to pronounce his name right, Jonas Govaerts. And it is the film Cub, which we've had on our radar for a while. So I'm glad we got a chance to do this one. It'll be coming out soon on Blu-ray and VOD.
Hey,
so
it's
we'll
on the
give you
cover
that.
of this month's Rue Morgue.
Nice, all right.
And but on last month's Rue Morgue, which has the 20th anniversary of American Psycho.
No.
Yep,
20th anniversary of American Psycho?
I believe so.
No.
It's either the 20th or the 25th, sir. It's not the 10th. Genki Genki Panic is featured in the audio Drew.
Oh,
section.
you saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you posted
yeah.
it. Nice.
They didn't know, so
Big ups themselves.
yeah.
That's awesome. Very, very cool. So we're going to review Cub, and then later on, if you're listening live in the 10:30 hour, if you're listening on the podcast, it's going to be about an hour and 15 minutes in. We're going to talk to Robert E Wronski Jr., the author of the Horror Crossover Encyclopedia. Now, Dynamo, tell me a little bit about this book, because I know you've lost sleep.
Literally,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I
How can you lose any more?
Yeah, it was before I wasn't sleeping at all. Now, this was the Horror Crossover Encyclopedia is what was keeping me company all night long before Lee Childs was. But so this book that we're going to talk about with the author of it is an exhausting look at a hypothesis which basically states that all of our favorite horror films take place in the same universe or a few divergent universes. And it goes to great lengths to find these comparisons. Everything from Buffy to strange, obscure French pulp fiction is linked together. So it's a real great book. Highest recommendations from me. And this should be a good time. And you know what? It's worth saying that the Wronskis are like family to me. So while I have never met this particular cousin, we're practically related because MC 900-foot Wronski and Evil Genius Parker Wronski are like brothers to me. So,
and you didn't you read the book before you knew who had wrote it?
Well, no. What happened is, offhandedly, I was just being supportive. Offhandedly, Joe MC 900-foot Wronski was like my one of my relatives put out a book about horror encyclopedia. I thought you might like that. Went on Amazon right there in the car ride and picked it up.
Gotcha.
Sat around for a little bit in the box, and I picked it up one day when I was supposed to be going to dinner with my family, and didn't go to that dinner with my family because I sat fucking fixated with, like, you know, wait a minute, you're trying to tell me, and then like, you know, like, I'll tell you that he had me at Blackula, and I'll let him explain. I'll let him explain that there, but like,
You are the rudest.
his, you know, this is really, really well thought out, and you know, I bought it as a courtesy. I didn't know that it was going to become an essential part of my book collection. It's something that I've read twice in a sturdy tome too. It certainly doesn't look like I've banged this thing around its travel with me as much as-
Whoa.
Jesus.
What have you done?
Are the pages sticking together?
Yeah, the Buffy section.
Awesome. So that should be a lot of fun. We're going to talk to Robert later on. We're going to review Cub. We have some feedback to get to. We have a lively chat room already, so I'm sure we're going to get to lots of comments in the chat room. Keep them coming, everyone. And it's not too late. If you're listening live, you can get your voicemails in. Go to trickortreatradio.com. Click on Contact, and then right there you'll see the option to leave a voicemail. You can do that, or you can go ahead and leave you can record, what do they call those? The voice memos? That's it.
Yeah.
On your smartphone. Yeah, listen to you. You don't know what that is.
You got a tablet in the back.
He's the next Bill Gates,
honestly
guys.
have one foot out the door and the other on a fucking atomic bomb. So this show's going to go poorly, I think.
This is exciting. We get some new friends.
Not you.
I don't know. I don't have
You
any
don't have any
friends.
friends.
Who are you, Barney the fucking dinosaur?
What does that mean?
New friends, new friends.
Ah, fucking Denver the
friends.
last
Oh,
dinosaur.
boy,
Remember
new
that guy? He was a rock and roller.
Denver the last dinosaur? I
Yeah.
remember him. Yeah.
Remember him?
Yeah, I remember
He
him.
had a mohawk.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Who's next, Johnny?
I haven't introduced anyone yet.
Well, now it's a good time to start.
You're not going to tell me what to do.
No,
You don't tell me what to do.
Don't do anything.
All right. So that's what's coming up tonight. We are going to talk to Robert in about an hour from now. So we have to get to this review very shortly because I don't want to shortchange this review. We have a bunch of people hanging out in the chat room. We got Cornjob. We got Stephanie. We got Melissa. We have more Cornjob.
Yeah, we could
He said chubby orifice. Who the fuck? What? Who is this Cornjob?
I don't know. He's
delete
it's
that.
like, yeah.
It's a bad
weird
post.
Corn job.
He's a weird James Bond heavy, I think.
Axel Braun's.
This whole movie's going to be
James
fucking
Blonde.
weird. Like, I don't even know what I think.
Corn job.
He
It's like
said, I
fucking-
like... Cornjob says, I like Ravenshadow. I'll be his friend. He's like a moist old... I can't say that.
Wow. Weird.
say it.
Don't. Don't. On behalf of tiny whites everywhere, I say don't.
So let me go
Unfriend
ahead.
that motherfucker.
Let me go ahead and introduce everyone. All right, how about that?
Yeah, please do.
Why don't we move on? I am Johnny Wolfenstein, the Foxy Sasquatch,
Yeah, Jesus.
the pencil pusher.
The self-proclaimed Foxy Sasquatch.
No,
by the way.
someone called me that. I forget who it was. Was it Tom?
Was it me?
Tom C? You're a Tom C. I don't know one of you guys. I'm the pencil pusher
popped up
and
on Gumballs.
producer of media for Trick or Treat Radio and the Deadites. We also have the immortal gunslinger, the singer, lyricist for the Deadites, the whiskey drinking father of all that is funky, Dynamo Marz.
Anybody else see Fantastic Four?
There's a movie?
Joe and Tom from
Yeah, just-
Film for Thought have.
spoiler alert, if you haven't listened to Film for Thought's review yet, I think that Joe DiCanio was put on this planet just to spur me. Like, I really believe that he is the opposite me. But here's what I will say. This movie...
Bizarro Marz.
Yeah, for all the fucking drama and all the shit that happened with this movie, it's really not as bad as everybody said until the last 35 minutes.
Would you say this is the best Fantastic Four film out of all of them that's been released?
I've never really watched those two contemporary ones, the Silver Surfer one and the... so I never really watched those, so I can't judge. I keep meaning to go back because I've become a pretty big fan of Chris Evans, but...
From the Evans.
Yeah. Honestly, the two before, they weren't the definitive FF, but it's the motherfucker that made Baba Shop. Don't give the guy that made Baba Shop the world's greatest superheroes. You know what I mean?
Baba Shop?
Baba Shop. It was cute. All I can say is I saw it with my son when he was younger. You know what I mean?
The
and
old
when
one?
What?
The old one?
The older one.
The one
when
who can't hang his sweatshirt?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he can, he can drive a fucking car, could board a tractor like a motherfucker. But when Johnny flamed on, he did the fist bump.
No, I didn't flame on.
Different Johnny.
Oh, okay.
But it was fine. I didn't see this.
I think that the Johnny controversy was... I thought it was stupid while people were upset about it, really, but I think that it was a non-factor because they handled it in a very subtle way. I think that the first 20 minutes felt the most like a Marvel movie that any non-Disney movie has. But it ended with the most anticlimactic boss battle in the history of boss battles. So, spoiler alert, turn away if anybody wants to see Fantastic Four. They take one run at Doctor Doom.
Around.
They
From
take
Star Wars, right?
Yep. They take one run at Doctor Doom, right? Doctor Doom, Pat swats them all away.
You didn't send me Sing Sang Soon, did you?
I didn't even do it.
Oh, I thought you... Okay, never mind.
All these, I've been rehearsing the Scaretaker all day. I think that Doctor Doom looked cool. His powers were kind of silly and unnecessary the way they did it, but it worked. I guess I wouldn't have complained about it. But
did you see the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you saw it.
Oh yeah, I was gonna go see The Gift, and then
you paid.
Yeah, then I got a last minute.
Wait, whoa! You won't go see fucking Man of Steel even on DVD. I'll let you borrow the fucking thing. You won't see that, but you go see that Fantastic Four movie. That's like one of the worst reviewed movies ever.
Wolfie, do you think I'd pay for things?
What are you in that gang again?
I pull the coat on and just walk right in. No, I mean the theater right next to me is only 5 bones, and I was already in there, and I was like, one for The Gift, and then I got a text. I texted Kim and said, "Are there any movies you want to see?" And I got a text back that said, "Go see whatever you want."
Really?
Yeah, go see whatever you want. Just don't go see The Gift. So I was on the spot. I was in line.
Oh, because she wanted to see it?
Yeah, so I was like, all right, I'll go see Fantastic Four. I already walked over here in the fucking rain. So it was, but the end was bad. They fought Doctor Doom once. I could tell you everything that's wrong with this movie. It happened in almost one scene. So they fight Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom swats him off.
Does he look stupid?
Yes. No, he looks really cool. And even his origin is fine, alternate origin. It's not the Doctor Doom I grew up with, but it's a cool idea for Doctor Doom. They
don't look at me.
Yeah, you don't have Siri. I knew he's the only one that does.
They so in this one scene, all of a sudden it got written the first 5 issues of the Jeff Jones Justice League. He's too tough. We can't beat him. He's too tough for any of us to fight, but not for all of us to fight together. So as they fly in, I wasn't done groaning over that little bit of terrible dialogue before we got, "There is no victor. There's only doom." I was like,
Jesus.
I was like, really?
Wow.
But here's the thing. Then, just like I said how it went down, they defeat fucking Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
So they take one pass at him, figure out teamwork, and then beat Doctor Doom. And that's the end of the fucking movie.
Jesus Christ, it's like a
Dr.
skit
Doom
from
only
Sesame
showed
Street on
up.
cooperation.
Only showed up 10 minutes before he almost destroyed the world and got defeated. It was like they have this slow burn movie, and somebody is like, "Oh, we promised to get this under 90 minutes. Well, here comes Doctor Doom.
Hey, it all works
Yeah,
out.
better hurry up and beat him." And now we're all friends. And that was really it. If they had given this movie, I know people are really upset that the Marvel movies are all over 2 hours, but if they had even given this 15 minutes to let the fact that there was a Doctor Doom settle, it would have been okay. But it was and they wrote it in a way they had all these like plot contrivances that would have really slowed down a franchise after that. But like it didn't matter because Doctor Doom's plot to destroy the world sucked all that stuff into another dimension. So like all the characters that didn't matter, all the shit they made up, like all dead. So, but that said, they had their thumb on a good movie there. It was like the X-Men movies. Like it didn't feel like the X-Men, but it was entertaining and it was a cool alternate take. It was like the DC contrivance of Elseworlds.
Yeah.
But really, that fucking last 10 minutes was like sci-fi movie bad. The special effects were bad. Everything about it was bad.
Why can't they get together and and make a decent Fantastic Four film? They've had 4 chances, and they keep fucking it up.
It's just
fuck Michael Chiklis, okay?
Slow it down with Chiklis. Leave TV Shield alone. No Ordinary Family. What was that superhero?
The problem is that it's a weird tonal thing because if you're doing it properly, the Avengers has like one tone and they're doing it properly in the films. But if you're doing a Fantastic Four film, it has to be about discovery and family. It should feel like an Indiana Jones movie. There should be an adventure and a journey. And these, I don't know.
Has a sequel been greenlit for this one?
No,
it was greenlit.
It was, yeah.
And then it was fucking shut the fuck down.
No. Last I think it's still greenlit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways, the director Josh Trank, he had tweeted out when the reviews started coming out. It's last I saw, I don't know if it's gone up, but it was sitting at a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. That was after the weekend, so it already had a weekend. And so he tweeted out and basically said, "This is not the film I wanted to do. You guys should have seen the original cut. It was good." And then the tweet was deleted. But then a bunch of people fired back, people at the studio, and they were like, "Why do you think the movie had to be edited so much? What was there was terrible." So apparently the studio or other people involved, there's this big shouting match going on, and they had to release it because they're going to lose a license if they didn't. So it's just this weird catch-22. They rushed a film out, probably sucked because of that.
But they've done it 3 times now, right?
Yeah. So why don't they just give it up?
Yeah, so they need to, 3 times they've rushed a subpar product out to keep a license
4
that they
times.
obviously don't want to make.
Go back to the Roger Corman stuff.
Well, no, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay, you mean Corman, the 2 sequels?
They rushed out the first sequel.
Yeah.
They rushed out the first Fantastic Four movie after the Corman one.
Yeah.
Because they were going to lose the license. Then the second sequel got made because that actually made money.
So, and this dude, Josh Trank, he did Chronicle, which I still haven't seen, but I'm
very good.
curious
It was good.
about.
Probably one of the best found footage usage.
Okay.
With the telekinesis.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things,
In
and
a
I would
great
like to see it.
superhero movie.
Yeah.
But the thing is, this dude is shooting himself in the fucking foot because he was originally attached to direct one of the Star Wars offshoots, and he got taken off of that. I think it was because of his relationship with the producer of Fantastic Four.
I guess he'll never work in this town again.
I think it was because he directed the fucking movie from a tent, like Augur from the Dark Crystal.
What?
Like literally, there was a thing that one of the they think that it's the Johnny Storm, like publicly slipped some things out. Like, listen, this dude would talk to us through a fucking tent. He like had a monitor, a seat, and a megaphone inside of a tent.
It was Simon Kinberg was the producer. He's the one that he's done a lot of the X films, yeah. But he's also, as far as he's doing the Star Wars anthology film. He's one of the ones that's attached to produce it. And I think it was going to be the Han Solo one, maybe? I can't remember. But he was originally attached to it. And then because of the fallout with this flick, was taken off of it. Like, how can you shoot yourself in the foot that much? Like, it's just crazy. The dude could have directed a Star Wars flick, and now he's not, so.
Screwed the pooch.
How old is Trank anyway? He doesn't look all that old.
No, he's younger than any of us. I think he was born in 84. Yeah, 84. So,
wow.
And all he had to do is shut up. I just watched an interesting interview with Bob Zemeckis. Probably the guy...
Director of Goonies.
Yeah, no, probably...
As we got wrong a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, even I make mistakes.
Yeah.
Probably
No,
the guy...
I agreed with you.
Yeah, that's the double weird. Probably the guy behind some of the most innovative films of all time. His first 2 films, commercial failures.
Yep.
What were they?
Well, it happens. So
Used cars and
I fucking love used cars. Kurt Russell.
Right,
Kurt
yeah.
Russell, yeah.
Yeah, used cars and I can't recall what the first one was.
That was my first cable nudity.
Really?
The first boobs I saw on cable
Mine was
the
Airplane.
Ooh.
In what?
In used cars.
Oh, okay. All right.
When she got her shirt
Yep.
caught in the fucking hood.
Yep. They showed that scene.
Yeah.
who's next, Johnny? Sorry, I don't mean to derail the conversation because it
Oh,
is-
sure, because that never happened.
It is interesting, but no, we have an interview, and when we tell someone a time, I don't want to, make them wait around, and we still have a movie to review. So,
Yeah.
let me just get to introducing everyone else. We have the chain smoking, hand kissing, baby shaking, hot pocket loving, comic book reading nerd, the official smoke machine for the Deadites, the 40-ounce high life drinking motherfucker, Michael Ravenshadow.
That's right, Johnny. It's time to get out your seat and jump around. Jump around.
We also have the vulgar guru of horror, cast member of Morbid Vision Films, one-time contributor for Horror Hound magazine, MonsterZero.
How the hell am I supposed to follow up on that? A little Cypress Hill for my face.
Well, how about this? You guys were recently featured on another podcast. Why don't you talk about that?
Oh.
You know what? We were, goddammit. Tell him, Ravenshadow.
Yeah, you were really good. Yeah, no, we were on the 401 Stories,
Yeah.
buddy JT, episode 5, the lazy fisherman and the fucking catfish prince.
I can't think of anyone least appropriate to promote a children's show.
Especially with a 40-ounce beer in his hand.
The way you did it on your let me pull it up. You guys,
What?
oh, here it is. MonsterZero.
Yeah.
401 Stories is a kid-friendly site where storyteller extraordinaire Joseph Thoreau and his usual gang set up stories for the young and young at heart. Enjoy this week's story, The Fisherman's Son and the Magic Catfish, narrated by Joseph Thoreau, Michael Ravenshadow, and myself, also star in the story. So hey, grab the kids, unlock grandma out of the car, and come sit around your smartphone to some 401 Stories. And then here's Michael.
That's how you promote it, man.
And here's Michael Ravenshaw's way to promote it. Check out the storytelling, kid-friendly storytelling podcast, 401 Stories. It's by my main man, brother from another mother, and tag team partner, Joseph Thoreau. If that's not enough, MonsterZero, and I guest star and provide voices for this week's episode, stepping out of the umbrella of the Trick or Treat Radio podcast, brought to you by the Deadites. Only good parents subscribe to the always free 401 Stories. Spoiler alert, I play the magic catfish. All right.
See? It's a lot of content.
You guys promote that better than you promote this fucking show.
I mentioned the Deadites. I mentioned Trick or Treat Radio.
Yeah, but when you promote this show, all you do is share the link and don't say anything.
I say shit.
Yeah.
Correct.
I do.
You're 100% right.
Once every 20 episodes.
I'll post up the link and then I'll say shit.
No, it's nice. 27 minutes.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's
I like your background image here. It's a photo of our logo.
on my iPod.
Yep. That's nice. Do you want me to actually get you a real
Yeah,
one?
it'd be nice. You know what I mean?
Kind of like I have here.
Johnny, I am legitimately worried that I'm finally going to do it.
Gonna do what?
Like, you got to lock up, like, your razor blades, bolt the windows, like, because I've had enough.
Can you make that happen on my phone?
Listen to this fucking guy. Well, we have to get to the movie in just a few moments.
Yeah.
Let me catch up on the chat room here. All right. Belial is hanging out.
Hey,
Belial!
Say it.
You love it.
Say it.
I just said it. Oh, Belial. Oh, Stu.
And he says they should make a campy Batman TV series style FF movie. Use the Mike Allred storyline and costume. And then he says FF is too far out there to make it completely serious.
I agree.
Guardian of the motherfucking Galaxy. Rocket Raccoon. The fucking tree.
Reservoir Doug says, here's what the problem is. You have a movie company making a comic book movie instead of a comic book company making a comic book movie like Marvel really is.
Whoa, slow it down, Doug.
And then Melissa says, Goonies, best movie ever, Truffle Shuffle. Hey, maybe we can get enough people to pay us for MonsterZero to do the Truffle Shuffle.
I'll do the truffle shuffle right now if I have to.
No, not for free. You can't do that for free.
Don't ask me to do it, because I still have that weird cyst and shit will fly out.
Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to do it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I look like fucking somebody popped the custard tank.
We have Cornjob says, ugh, Goonies. It's like hanging out with all my annoying little cousins for 90 minutes.
Hey,
You
come
are
on.
a communist.
Yeah. You're a cornhole.
Yeah, and Belial says, how can anyone hate Goonies? You're right, fucking Belial.
Yeah,
No
Belial,
one,
he's so
except
fucking smart.
except the surly Cornjob.
You ever wonder what happened after somebody made a deal with the devil
What?
and don't have a soul? He's on the chat right now. No
Oh,
soul.
we have a newcomer hanging out in the chat room, Kevin Kex. You know Kevin Kex, Hayes?
I do.
KK,
says-
hey.
I
He
do.
says, he says, hey
bud.
y'all, is that MonsterZero?
Yeah. Hey. What's up, Kev?
Nice. We got
How's
a
it going,
big-
brother?
Got a big turnout going tonight.
Wow, this is exciting.
Look at him doing some promotion. Got some
Yeah.
people hanging out just for you.
Look at the people I bring in.
He says, they're a little bit behind. He says, tell MonsterZero Kex is here.
Ah, yes, I know already, man. Enjoy.
Future.
Yeah, from the future. All right, so that's what's going on. That's what we have to do tonight. That's everyone on the show. You guys have promoted your appearance on 401 Stories, and let me just say, it was actually a really fucking great story. So,
Well, thank you.
Not just because you guys you had some really good performances.
I take most of the credit.
Yes.
Well, you should, because I left you here alone to record it last week.
I walked in on that when
Can you
guys
imagine
weren't
if
here.
we had left Michael Ravenshadow alone? It'd be like 20 minutes of test.
This thing on.
This is
thing
exciting.
How the fuck do you work it?
This is exciting.
Plugged in.
This is not
This is exciting.
We get like ring, chains. I don't know. That Marz is an asshole.
I don't know what fucking Johnny is. It's not plugged in.
Oh, Melissa says sexy Kexy. Apparently, Kex is sexy. And cool. So we got some people hanging
Yeah.
out. We have an interview to get to soon, so we need to get to this film review. Ravenshadow.
Yeah.
Where can people help us if they want to send us money? They want to help out. There's a couple ways you can do this, right?
Oh,
All right. Number one, we've already gotten $125
that's fucking crazy.
for MonsterZero to do the tuck dance and for Marz to sing Goodbye Horses.
Yep.
So if anyone else wants to get other people involved in this,
Yeah, there's other
Yeah,
guys
I'm
in
not-
the show. There's other verbs you can suggest.
I'm not sure when we're going to film this. It's probably going to be sometime in September or October, but we will do it. We will get this filmed. Maybe we could have Ravenshadow be the one in the in the well. Who's
be- it'll
Who's
be
that
the
girl's? Who's the girl's name? The girl in the well.
Oh,
I can't remember her name.
give me a second.
Or maybe Ravenshadow could be the dog.
Precious.
Pressure.
That
So,
girl-
Catherine.
Catherine. Okay.
Catherine was on the show Ray Donovan for the first 2 seasons. She was pretty awesome.
All right. Well, if anyone else, if you guys want Ravenshadow to be in that as well,
Yeah, I'll jump in.
hey, jump in, lover.
Yeah.
If you want to give some more money,
Throw me a fin.
go for it. But we already have $125 to do that. If we get, do we want to throw out a number out there?
Ooh, a stretch goal?
No, because we
Stretch
already.
goal?
No, because
Wait, how about this? How about we do put it online, but you have to wear a bodysuit? How about that? Will you feel better about a bodysuit if we put it online? Like a
Blur
tight-
it.
Blur it out. Blur it out.
That's not it though.
Premium content.
Why don't we just film me singing and Stephanie's reaction?
Oh, snip.
it would probably be more nauseating than watching me doing the tuck dance.
But you got to show her, though. That's $100.
Yes, I know.
We'll think about it some more. I don't. Yeah.
I'm a plan is congealing in my brain as we speak.
I mean, it costs like $12 to see Fantastic Four, and she
I-
paid $100.
It only cost me $5. I would not pay $12.
Well, then she would see the Fantastic Foreskin.
Oh no, Stephanie said, "Don't do that. Don't tempt me. I don't want you to give us any more.
Oh, snip!
I don't want you to give us any more, Stephanie. That was way too generous already.
Save it for our show.
Let's let other people kick in. You've already done more than enough.
Yeah.
So if anyone else wants to get on that and make recommendations, we can do a mashup. It doesn't have to stay Silence of the Lambs, right?
Or trilogy.
Quadrilogy. So if anyone else wants to get on it, give us some ideas, throw some donations. You can do that on trickortreatradio.com. There's a donate button right there. You can also buy our shit. If someone wants to actually buy shit, we have t-shirts for sale. We have music for sale. It's not on the website. You can buy it at Bandcamp, on iTunes. And the other thing you can do is on trickortreatradio.com, click on the link to Amazon Everything you buy in that session gets attributed to us. It doesn't cost you any extra, and
It helps keep the lights on.
all right. Stephanie says I didn't pay $100 for a bodysuit.
That's fair. She needs the full
All
MonsterZero.
right. It is fair.
All the people doing the tuck dance, there's a certain, like, I don't know, there's some biological roadblocks there that I just can't imagine.
The
that's
biohazard.
I just can't imagine that's a comfortable affair. It's like, remember the bag?
In my case, it would be completely uncomfortable.
I fucking can't wait.
Remember the dodgeball bags from high school?
Yeah.
Like, it's like fucking taking 2 of those and full of dodgeballs and tucking them underneath yourself and dancing.
Stephanie says I just keep Ravenshadow in the hole.
Hey, throw the rope.
Maybe he'd be quiet. So
Who does that awesome song, The Greenskeepers?
the Greenskeepers, yeah.
It puts the lotion on its skin.
Yep. maybe we'll put that music to it.
Maybe we'll. No, I gotta sing. So maybe
Mars,
Yeah.
Mars. One other thing I want to do. I meant to talk to you about this earlier. We didn't have time, but what I would like to do is
I was too busy getting yelled at by the internet.
I want to try and do a Trick or Treat Radio playlist. Is anyone out there on Apple Music? Is anyone listening to Apple Music? They're doing a free 3-month trial, and the Deadites are on there. If you're using Connect, you can go ahead and find the Deadites and follow us. And maybe what we'll do is we'll do a playlist, Mars. What do you think? Maybe we'll do the ultimate Halloween playlist, and we'll let people vote on songs to keep on or off. What do you think about something like that?
I think it's great.
All right, so if anyone else is interested in there in doing something along those lines, we can curate the playlist, and then you folks can listen to it. Once you get it, it updates. So if we add to it, it'll auto update for you. So we'll figure something out. But I think that'll be a lot of fun to do. And most people have iTunes and or Apple Music on their phones, anyways. If you have an iPhone, so we will.
I think mine's too old.
Might be. We'll figure it out though. I think it'd be cool to do something like that.
4S? 4 is those?
You can update.
Okay. I'll do it right now.
Keck says, MonsterZero, dance. I know you.
Yeah.
And he asks, are the figures in the back, are those exclusives? And no, well, some of them are actually, but most of them are just DC Direct from like the mid 90s, late 90s rather.
Early 2000s.
Late 90s, early 2000s, sure. There you go. All right, so Ravenshadow.
Yes.
Used to be a Cub Scout, right?
No, my mom wouldn't let me.
All right, so you sit down to watch Cub. What do you do?
Well, listen, it was, it's a camping theme. So I got a couple of white sheets.
Mm-hmm. Okay. With you.
Hung them on the deck.
All right.
Got the old projector out. Go on the lawn, light a fire.
Mm-hmm.
Set up a tent. The projector was flowing. Got some marshmallows. Got a couple of s'mores. Made a couple of s'mores,
Mm-hmm.
The marshmallow was all bubbling.
Mm-hmm.
And it was nice. And I go to eat it, and I realized, you know what? I'm sweet enough. Threw the motherfucker in the fire. Had a couple of beers, and strapped on.
Do you love a scary story? Do you love to dance? The Big Scary Monster Haunts at Midnight is a collection of dark songs about sex, love, death, revenge, and the end of the world. Brought to you by the world's greatest monster hunting electroshock band, the Deadites.
Hey, you matzo heads. This is Larry Fine, and you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Hello, it's me, Jason Voorhees.
Hi, Jason.
Is 2 million movies streaming not enough?
I'm sick of over the top.
Are your wrists and hands tired from flogging your undead member? Over teenagers being fresh down by the lake? Have you run out of people dumb enough to wander into your territory?
What?
Are you just out of cool weapons to use?
Weapons?
Well, the Deadites have something for you to do.
Oh, no, not
Go
that.
to our YouTube channel, The Deadites TV. Search us on YouTube, you'll see the CryptoCast, music videos, and all sorts of other good business. The Deadites TV. It's on YouTube. Subscribe.
How much?
Right now, we're slashing the price for subscriptions.
Oh, yeah?
It's absolutely free.
Holy shit, I love fruit.
So go. Deadites
I love them.
videos.
I like videos.
That equals sexy ladies, music, monsters, and dancing. The
I do
Deadites
like
TV on YouTube. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe.
That's right, boys and girls. If you don't believe old Jason, listen to what your friend old Dynamo says and check out The Deadites TV, all one word, on YouTube. That's The Deadites TV on YouTube.
Is it odd that I care who you swim with? Now they just swam, 'cause in truth, the thought of it thrills me. The alien waters wash over you. You see, my plan never was a cage.
And we have returned on Trick or Treat Radio.
My pants never was a cage for two. That's the original line, but I changed it.
That's probably a good move on your part.
Yeah. Man, I know I'm not as fat as I look on Trick or Treat Radio. Like, is the contrast,
Well, the camera adds 10 pounds.
Well, this one looked like it added 10 me's. Like, I look at myself with my shirt off all day long.
What?
Posing. No.
What are you talking about?
Anyone who knows me knows that I have moved all reflective things from my apartment.
I mean, am I fat? Do I look fat?
No, you look
on
exactly.
camera?
That's what's weird. That's what makes me nervous. You look like you
Exactly
really
the
look
same.
on the camera. So I must be like this fucking blob thing.
And Ravenshadow looks like
Blob
Jimmy
thing.
J.J. Walker coming in, you know?
What sucks about
Dynamite!
it is that A, I've lost a ton of weight, and B, my pants don't fit. None of my pants fit. It's a fucking nightmare.
Oh, it fucking smells in here. Jesus Christ,
no,
Raven
man.
Shadow.
God damn,
Fuck.
dude.
Couldn't you not smoke just for like the show?
Yeah.
It's in my
seriously.
contract.
No?
No.
You don't fucking have a contract.
I'm sorry, the prescription.
No.
Cigarettes?
Have you ever thought about vaping?
You ever think about sounding?
Go vape.
What's that?
Vape. Vape.
I haven't done that. Stephanie, what's vaping?
Melissa says he does not look fat.
Thank you.
Who doesn't look
Zero
fat?
or
Me?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, she says, no, Monster, you're a sexy beast.
Better believe it, baby.
So I do look fat. I'm confused now. I
Thanks,
know
man.
I'm fat, but I just look.
Oh, wait. Reservoir Doug says, yeah, you're fatter.
Who? Me?
You both are.
We're both fatter than who? Him? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This Coke can is fatter than he is.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking conversation with the fucking Kissingers. Jesus
All right, we have to review Cub. We don't have much time.
Man,
All right, so we'll discuss the obesity of the hosts on the show later on. We're going to review...
What's the city?
God.
Obese city.
it's like Pawn Stars. We're all fat.
We're going to review the film Cub. This film from 2014, although it's just getting a release now, it's 84 minutes, is an adventure horror, and it is put out by Artsploitation Films. It was directed by Jonas Govaerts and written by Jonas and Roel Mondelaars. And it stars... all right, I don't know Flemish. I don't know how to say these names, so I'm sure we're gonna screw them up. Maurice Lutgen, Eveline Bosmans, Titus de Voogd, Steph Aerts, Jan Hamaker.
Jesus, it's like Ravenshadow saying these names.
Is Flemish what they speak at Flynn's? Flemish? I thought that's what it was.
Yeah, it's Finnish, not Flemish. What's Flemish?
Flemish.
It's
That's
like
what they
the James
speak.
Bond
That's
fucking
Finnish.
language.
No, guys are idiots.
It certainly is not finished.
We're idiots. You're having trouble trying to pronounce their goddamn names. And
Yeah, but I know the language they speak.
So what language?
This is from. It's from It's a Belgian film.
Is that German?
No, Belgium. It's
Where's Belgium?
north of France. Look at the map. I know it's not your strong point.
That's not Germany.
Look at the goddamn map.
See?
Belgium.
The muscle from Brussels is from Belgium.
I am legit.
Yes,
I
he
am
is.
legitimately not kidding. It's almost time. I'm gonna dive out that window like Mr. Hudsucker at the beginning.
Here we go. Flemish or Belgian Dutch is the Dutch language as spoken in Flanders, the northern part of Belgium.
Oh, Flanders.
Flemish.
Come on, Wolfie. Honestly, it's gonna be bad. I'm gonna try not to get anything on
Flanders.
Heidi ho.
All right. So, Doug W says Dynamo is fatter.
Oh, good.
All right, slow it down there, DW.
Keck says
Not than him though.
Keck says Melissa and Kex are the warped wonder twins of the radio. All right.
Oh, they should get their own show.
I think I saw Melissa's Wonder Twins.
Oh, slow it down.
Cornjob says MZ looks like a gym teacher got fired for kid touching. Yeah, his name was Diet Coach.
Don't even talk about that fucking guy. I don't want him to come back.
That guy died.
I still owe that guy a date. Not with me.
No, fuck no.
Doug W says Flemish is what Ravenshadow speaks when he gets up in the morning in those darn cigs.
Oh, it's bad times.
Listen to you two.
Is one of those the Burt?
Yeah, is that the Burt
laugh?
Reynolds laugh?
No, I could do the Burt Reynolds laugh.
Do it. Where did that come from? Where did the music come from? Oh wait,
You did it, you bastard.
no. I had a tab just opened up on that fucking thing. I don't know what that. What the fuck?
Weird.
It was weird. All right, so the synopsis we have here: over imaginative 12-year-old
Sometimes the show
Sam.
puts the torture back in amateur torture.
Over imaginative 12-year-old Sam heads off to the woods to summer scout camp with his pack, convinced he will encounter a monster. ...
Yes.
I'm not going to say the rest because that's not really spoilery, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a movie without it, really.
It's true. All
so
right.
then say it.
And he does.
There we go.
So let me go ahead and we have some information about when this is going to be released. Let me try to find that. While I find that, why don't you guys talk about the film? Dynamo, I know you said you were interested in finding out what we're going to say about this one.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Because I feel like it was. I feel like either one of these guys here and you could fall on either side of this film's level of. We'll just, I'll be harsh. I don't mean this in a harsh way, but this film's level of, I won't say cliche, I'll say shorthand, and its ingenuity or originality. So I was really curious to see, what level of that won out for everybody, because, this in setup is a film that we've seen a few times.
Sure.
I will say I was disappointed by the amount. I thought I was going to see lots of fucking kids get killed.
Well,
a lot of them did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't see them.
Right. You wanted to see kids.
Yeah, I was really.
I wanted to actually
fucking-
feel it and smell
Yeah,
it.
I was fucking excited to see kids get stabbed. And
Yeah.
kids get hit by fucking trees, and kids get hit by.
Who doesn't want to see shit like
I wanted
that?
to see that fat kid get hit by that truck.
Jesus.
And that bossy little motherfucker.
Oh yeah. I fucking hate kids. So, I really was that era of kids.
Well, it's hard for me because I was also binge watching the Wet Hot American Summer series
There
on
you go.
Netflix.
Right here.
So
what is with you two?
was friends.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys get your own fucking show?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, please. I'll pay for it.
Helps keep the lights on. So all the kids in the cabins and that show and this show, a lot of kids in cabins. But who the fuck?
No cabins.
Bolo and the other one. What was his name? What was the kind of the ponytail kind of guy?
Oh,
Listen, the whole fucking movie was a little bit weird character-wise. It was fucking sleazy, tiny white, and Lyle Lovett and a lady went into the woods with a bunch of kids in a fucking JVC Kaboom Box. And that's the thing. Like I was watching Kaboom Box, like, sponsor of SummerSlam, and like fucking, you know, like that's not the way Cub Scouts was.
Well, it's like German. What's it, Belgian? Fleming?
All right, hold on. So, and actually, I found it, and Melissa in the chat room had actually just posted it, but it is going to be out August 18th on DVD, Blu-ray, and video on demand.
That's
so
only 6 days away.
It is only 6 days away. When this comes out on Friday for the podcast, it'll just be 4 days away. Wow. So by the time you hear this,
like MonsterZero with math.
That's right. If you want to go check it out, because Artsploitation has been, I think they've been on fire. I mean, we'll find out more about this film as we go through the review, but they've had a lot of really, really solid releases. So definitely support Artsploitation because they had Der Samurai.
Yes.
Whether or not you liked Horsehead, which I did, not everyone did, but that I thought was a great film. And then they got this. They have a really, really solid lineup of films coming out this year.
Their library is looking good.
Really good job, Artsploitation.
Yeah. Your library is coming out pretty good.
Yeah. So
we'll see how this goes.
All right. So this is a directorial debut. So Jonas Govaerts, his first flick, which I think right there, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. We had a lot of...
seems to be a constant with the Artsploitation that we've seen anyway.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're taking definitely taking risks on some first-time filmmakers. And this was also partially funded from an Indiegogo campaign. It didn't succeed. However, they did get some money. Indiegogo, you can keep whatever you get. So in this case, they did get some money from Indiegogo. So appreciate the help from the community for this one. And the other thing I wanted to mention, the score, Steve Moore from Zombie. Who also scored The Guest, which we reviewed last year, which we liked his score for that a lot.
Isn't the other one of the Disaster Piece?
No.
Or am I thinking of... Oh, no. One of the guys from Air is Rob.
Right. That's right, yeah. So I thought this great opening to this flick. Loved the score right off the bat. Yeah. That was immediately, I was like kind of drawn in by that. I think the score was a little weird for what was presented on screen.
I agree. I sort of felt like we often talk about how like directors will now use that like nihilistic ending, but not really understand why. I feel like they're using a certain kind of music and like just because that's what they're supposed to use almost. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I love the score and I think it added a lot to this flick. But I think something I think it could have used a different score. So don't get me wrong, I love Steve Moore, I love the work he's done, and I really love the score. But I think it's a score for maybe another flick. I think I would have liked to heard something a little bit different in this. Well, what's funny is I feel like the kind of that synth score was most indicative at the beginning, and I felt like it got a bit more orchestral-ish when they got into the woods.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like the score myself. I didn't have any problem with it. You know, I mean, it was something that obviously, yes, it's something that would fit a different type of film than this. But I kind of appreciate that they're thinking outside the box. They're going against the grain. You know, I don't want to start using any cliches in that area, but you dig what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, you're a little too late.
Yeah, I know.
You used all the cliches.
Well, you know, hey.
At least
I can't stop
I'm
myself.
proud of you. It's been about 42 episodes and counting since you mixed the metaphor.
Oh, well, well, I try. Yeah. I had a double shot of caffeine in my coffee a few hours ago, so I'm kind of wired. But I liked that they were thinking differently, that they weren't going with the typical norm, you know, and I appreciate that.
Well, I think
it's a daring move. It's a bold, daring move. And
well,
I think it worked.
I think you're wrong, though. I think where you're wrong is that is the norm. Like having this retro synth score, I think, is the norm now. Don't get me wrong. I fucking love it, but I think it can be used in you know, in the right way, and then it could also be a little out of place, I think, in terms of this.
Well, we can agree to disagree.
We can.
Well, no, we can, but it doesn't change
and
that.
If not, I'll beat the shit out of you.
That what you're saying isn't right, because all movies have this type of score now, so it's not different. Almost every, I would say 90% of the films we've reviewed this year have had a Carpenter-esque score.
Yeah. I mean, that's the hot thing now, but
So now you have officially contradicted yourself.
Yes, I have.
He is a walking contradiction.
Look, the point is that I like the
I
score.
wish his parents
so
used
everybody
walking
just shut up.
contraception.
And you shut up.
I didn't say nothing. Let's talk about the fucking plot and the fucking score. You
The
know what I mean?
plot?
The plot.
We have Alicia's hanging out. She says, "Rich, who's Rich? MonsterZero. You cut your hairs. I think that's who she means."
She pull it down. It's tied back.
Yes, it's those hairs. Yeah, no.
Jesus, Jiminy Crickets.
Speaking of dynamic duos.
No, it's in a I'm wearing a ponytail.
It's a pony nub.
Yeah, it's more like a pony.
I got your pony nub hanging.
I'm looking at it.
What the fuck?
Sorry, Rocky just posted an amazing photo of the Terminator with Bill Murray's face.
That's a fucking movie.
That's
right there.
awesome.
Yeah, it is a fucking movie. All right, so we have to get back into this review.
All right, so a bunch of motherfuckers who shouldn't be around kids take a bunch of kids in the woods in Belgium.
Whoa! Wasn't you?
I'm in America.
You're not
Really? Where were you a couple weeks ago?
Yeah,
Not in Belgium.
Oh, you are on vacation.
I was like, I ain't going to fuck. I'm not leaving the country again. I'm not doing it. Sucks.
What do you mean again?
I've been out of the country
Yeah, you
before.
went to Greece, right?
No, I went to Italy, Naples,
That's right. Yeah.
Canada.
The grease is just in his back.
And his hair.
It's hot in here.
So I also thought the locations were great in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is the film. I thought Joe from Film for Thought, you're gonna love this. This film is beautiful. No, seriously, I thought this film looked gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I did a little bit of research. The cinematography was done by Nicholas
Wendi Freeman.
Nope. Karakatsanis.
Jesus.
Karakatsanis. That's how you say it. And
Nicholas Carrot Top Santa.
he has done some other flicks. He did the film The Drop. Have you seen that, Ravenshadow?
Oh,
With
Snoop. Is that with
Gandolfini?
Tony Soprano and
Tom
Mad Max?
Hardy?
Yeah, that was good.
From Tony Soprano and Mad Max, yes.
That's a fucking movie.
Did you like it?
I enjoyed it. Based on a book set in Boston.
All right, I don't need the synopsis. I just wanted to know if you liked it. That's
It was a fucking good fucking movie. I think the guy that did The Town, wrote The Town, did that.
All right. So the dude who
Real people doing real things.
the cinematography, the guy who did the cinematography for that film and also The Loft, which we reviewed a couple months ago, was the same guy who did the cinematography for this flick.
Oh,
so
cool.
Just kind of a neat little thing. Both those films, I've never seen The Drop, but I remember remarking that The Loft looked really good, despite some missteps with story. I
And
think.
now that I know that, I see some parody in this the way these two films look.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So who here was a Cub Scout?
Oh shit!
Fucking knew you were a Cub Scout.
Yes, I was.
Do you know
Tiny
how?
White got kicked out of Cub Scouts for tying up all the other scouts in his troop and another troop at Treasure Valley.
I heard you were a Weeblo.
Yes, I was.
He was a U-blow.
We all do. We all blow down here.
Yeah, I was a Weeblo.
No shit.
And that's
weird.
the end of that.
That's the end. No more.
No, being a Cub Scout was fun, man. I mean, we did the camping thing and everything, but I mean, it wasn't to the extent, the vulgar extent of what was going on in Cub, but I mean, it had its moments. I mean, it was more ritual. It was more
Ritualistic.
a passive, ritualistic sort of thing going on. You know,
It's kind of like Burning Man.
you know, you know, the blade, the stone, the arrow, that whole deal. You know, the building sticks and wood. And,
Wow, it sounds really exciting.
Come on, man! I was only a little bastard back then. I don't know what
The
I
blade,
still
the
are.
stone, and the arrow. What's that?
We have oh shit, Rocky.
You were part right. Is the other Affleck Boston-based joint Gone Baby Gone?
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The guy that did Prince of Thieves, which is what
Thank
the
you.
town became, has been working with Guillermo del Toro to write The Strain. Charlie something.
Oh, okay. Yes, you're right. Might be.
But being
okay.
a
After we got Robert Zemeckis wrong last night.
being a Cub Scout was fun though. I mean, I earned my badges. I earned my I got my wolf badge, my bear badge, and I completed like all 15 activities that needed to be done in the course of a year or whatever, or however long it was. I mean, I don't know if I still have those medals at home. Maybe I do. I don't know.
So you're about 22 by the time you got all your medals.
Yeah. I was 29.
You know,
actually.
I'm not going to judge anybody, but those were the motherfuckers in school that I thought were weird. That were like
the Cub Scout dudes.
No, they were like
the Den
they were
Fathers
like
are the
in
weird
college, like and coming back, and they still had their fucking Cub Scout uniform.
Oh no, I don't have
their Boy Scout uniform. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm like, that's not the real military.
No,
just kind of like Bucky with a scarf.
No,
that's weird.
Rocky just made his introduction into the chat room by saying, "I wasn't a Cub Scout, but I ate a brownie once." Hey,
always highbrow, Rocky.
We have Cornjob says, "I beat the shit out of a bunch of Cub Scouts. They were all over 40 though."
Nice.
I will say that Allison Danger to one Ring of Honor show showed up in a Girl Scout outfit, and I had to leave. Like, I literally had to leave the wrestling show. Like, it made me feel really bad about myself.
We have Chris G is also hanging out in the chat room. I know I see him on the Fib, but I don't know that I've seen him in the chat room before. So welcome, Chris. So lots of action going on, man.
Yeah, big up. So many friends.
So many friends. They just want to see us say something stupid. That's why they're here, I think.
Oh, they didn't have to wait long.
So I thought there were some pretty good scares in this flick. I especially love the one where Kai, who's the boy with the mask, when he is Sam's sleeping and he's sort of like over Sam and he takes his knife out.
Yeah.
And he's like, I thought that was a really fucking cool scene. That one had me going. You know what I'm talking about, MZ? You know,
Yes.
remember?
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember.
Okay. So I thought there was some really good scares in this. Decent setup. You know, I thought it was kind of certainly not something you see all the time. Like, we haven't seen too many flicks with this kind of setup, which I thought was nice. A little bit different. Although it did have some of the stuff that happened later on reminded me of other flicks. Like, I want to say maybe like Willow Creek-ish.
Sure.
A little.
Yep.
That was one that
Down in
comes
Willow
to mind.
Creek.
I'm sorry, not yeah, Willow
Creek.
Okay, yeah.
Down in Willow Creek.
No, Wolf Creek.
The Australian one.
The Australian one, yeah. Not the Bobcat Goldthwait one. Yeah, Wolf Creek.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck that.
Oh, Wolf Creek. Oh.
The second week in a row that juxtaposition has been made.
And I like
Oh,
how
no, that was on somebody else's show. Sorry.
So, what do you guys think? Jesus
You know
Christ.
what? You know what? I didn't find the film to be all that scary, and I mean, it like you said before, it does look nice. I did like the look of the film. The cinematography is really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Score is good. Performances are good too. I
Yeah.
actually really, especially from the kids. I thought the kids, especially that one badass bastard, the one that kept on pushing everyone around. What was his name? I don't remember.
He was a leader.
He was like the leader of the Cubs. Yeah, he was like a real motherfucker. I wanted
motherfucker.
I wanted to kick that kid right in the fucking ear, and. But the performances from these guys, especially from the kids, were really, really good.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're.
But I
pretty
didn't find the film to be all that scary, and I didn't really find it to be. I didn't really find that much tension involved with it until like maybe the last third of the film, when things started to kick into gear.
I too didn't find it scary, but I do think like my problem with movies about kids and dolls is that I know I can just kick them down.
Yeah. Well, that's a great thing about kids. You can always kick them.
Like Jason can't kick that dude down.
No.
Yeah.
But Chucky, I'll punt him like fucking Adam
Outta
Vinatieri.
here. The fucking leprechaun, right into Lucky Charms, right into fucking laundry chute.
But no, I think I like the two renegade camp counselors who really shouldn't be allowed to have children, but it's fucking Belgium. And
Wild
I guess,
Love It and Sleazy Tiny White.
yeah. He reminded me of the cat from the American version of The Killing. You know what I mean? With MonsterZero's haircut. And I like that.
Yeah, he did have the same hair. Baloo, what was his name? Is that his name? Baloo.
I think Baloo. And they were kind of busting the
With
kids'
your
balls.
haircut right now and that like sleeves cut off, like I feel like you woke up one day and was like, man, those ECW fans dressed real nice.
He looks like Sign Guy, doesn't
Like
he?
I want to recreate like the locker room of ECW circa 1996.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The performances, like I said, were really, really good, but it was very difficult to feel any sympathy for anybody in this movie. Everyone was just a dick.
Well, except for the spoiler territory, but
I don't know, Sam.
No, it's not really spoiler territory because we know a little bit about him.
I don't know. I felt a connection to Sam. I thought that I was kind of rooting for him, and despite him having some issues that from his past, I thought that he was that you could definitely root for him.
And that's the thing that
I got a conspiracy theory.
Okay. Is it going to be spoiler? Because I might have the same conspiracy theory.
Yes.
Okay. But once again, we have some dog animal violence.
I hate it. Easy. Like
it's low hanging fruit. Yeah, cheap pop, low hanging fruit, whatever you want. It's just I don't know. There's no need for it.
What they should have done is hit the bag with the dog.
So but Sam gets wrapped up in this woodland nymph, whatever the fuck this kid is. But I kind of liked when
Not a nymph. That's a female spirit.
Shit. Was it name Kai or Koi?
Kai.
Cobra Kai. I liked the friendship that might have kind of happened a little bit, or they kind of interacted. It's what I mean? Were they kind of like almost friends a little bit?
Yeah.
And the kid's fucked up. Little mask, little demon kid. Kind of like if the kid from the Lost Boys was like left in the woods running amok.
Running amok, never giving a fuck.
Yeah, he had a weird mask on. Looked kind of like Groot, like he bought a fucking Groot mask.
So this film, about halfway through, we get a bit of a shift. We think one thing is the case, and then something else sort of happens. I thought some of these traps that we started to see were pretty cool, though. Like that.
Yeah, it was totally fucking different.
Yeah.
I loved
did like the
traffic
bee.
trap. Oh, the bee arrow is fucking the shit.
Oh, the bee arrow, yeah.
That knocks the fucking boxing glove arrow out the box.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I laughed so hard over the automobile trap.
I loved it. It was great, right?
I laughed my ass off because I didn't have, there wasn't the point of reference yet. So it was a good job putting it in the front because that gag works as when you're thinking of a conventional slasher, this is the best possible case scenario for the slasher that they've actually set up fucking dummy traps.
It'd be great for that movie. What did we watch? Leslie Vernon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if that was one of his things. I loved it.
All right.
And
Cool.
the fucking this is my hand doing the fucking trees falling down.
Did you guys catch a specific ringtone?
Yes.
What did you think about that?
If somebody's going to throw in references to horror, don't make it, blatantly obvious as, some slasher or whatever. But instead, they mention Castle Rock from the Stephen King films and Suspiria's ringtone. I mean, it's a nice touch. I appreciate that
Nicholas Winding references.
Yeah.
But I thought there was a lot of nice little touches with that. And I did think the plot twist was pretty interesting. It wasn't like this big, it doesn't turn the film on its head, but it sort of lulls you into this one thing and then it becomes this other thing a little bit.
Right.
So we have to wrap this up quick. Does anyone have anything before we run to spoilers?
No, because I will say one thing. I want to ask you about when I was pecking. When I was spackling. Yeah, as you know, I don't generally read other reviews or stuff like that before we do our review.
Yeah.
But I was kind of looking for to see if I was insane about my conspiracy theory. And I did read through a couple of reviews, and both of these separate reviews cited Guillermo del Toro tone in this film, and I didn't actually see.
I don't necessarily agree. So I mean, that's always when you see that in a review, it's always like, wow, okay, even if you can be slightly evocative of Guillermo del Toro, especially his Spanish speaking films, you definitely have my interest. And
sure.
I disagree. I'm not saying I don't like this movie, but I definitely disagree with that statement. I don't think this felt anything like his Spanish speaking films to me.
I felt like this looked very stark. And I feel like his films all have sort of a strange gloss of fairy tale.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I absolutely agree. So in this, I didn't necessarily get that sort of vibe from it, So, all right, well, let's go. Let's play some spoiler music because I think I do want to get into a little bit of spoiler talk. We'll have to keep it brief, and then we'll do verdict. So, spoiler!
Warning. Spoiler alert.
Napoleon was not actually short. He was actually average height, if not taller.
Warning. Spoiler alert.
Time Bandits was just a dream. Or was it?
Warning.
Popeye saved Sweet Pea and olive oil.
All right. It's time to spoil this movie. So, if you are interested in checking this out, you don't want to have it spoiled, just fast forward a couple times. I think most of you probably have that 30 seconds or 15-second fast forward. Just keep hitting it. If you hear the music, that means we're still spoiling the fuck out of it, but we're going to be pretty brief right now. So, All right, Marz, why don't you go ahead and talk about your...
You go first, because I feel crazy.
Okay. Well, I think...
I don't have that sort of tiny white swagger.
All right, so my thought was, at the end, I think Sam was actually Kai.
All along?
All along.
So you think it's like a Tyler Durden sort of thing?
I don't. I think that Poacher and Kai were Sam and Kai's family that he got taken away from when the violent stuff happened.
Well,
and maybe that it wasn't
that's
even
why I thought,
Sam at the end.
That's why I thought that Sam was actually Kai because of that. Because he got taken away from the violence.
Yeah, well, I think at the end, I see, the one thing I was
nobody else
wondering-
sees Kai, right?
No, it's true. That's a good point.
No,
Yep.
I that makes sense because think about it. Because Sam, who was how old would you say he is? 10 years
12.
old? 12. All right, 12 years old. He's a hell of a fighter for a 12-year-old. So I mean, for him to learn how to fight like that at a young age, you would have to have been brought up in a violent,
But who
in violent
was that
surroundings.
guy
So
who was that guy?
I would think that. Yeah,
Actually,
I would
the
think
poacher,
that Sam
the
is.
poacher saw Kai, and the poacher threw a knife down.
The poacher accepted Sam.
Well, here's my
And-
weird conspiracy theory. I think Sam died. I think Kai was Kai, who looked just like Sam because they were twin brothers.
See, I saw the
That's a bit
poacher
of a
as like a
reach.
Batman.
It's
and
not a
he
reach
just
at all.
was getting a new
I think
protege.
it's a reach.
Yeah, that's because you have crippled baby dinosaur arms for a brain. Listen. So when he saw the poacher, right? When he saw Kai and the poacher together, he flashed to his picture of his family twice.
Yep. I don't know. This could go a couple of different routes.
I think Wolfie's idea is also fascinating, but I don't know who the poacher was throwing a knife to then if there's only one of them down there.
Well, he could have just been throwing it down there to give it to him to come back up.
Nah.
You're right. That one is a little tough to explain, but nobody else saw Kai, as far as I know. Right? Did
well, the girl did.
Jasmine, was that her name or something?
Yeah, well, the girl did when he was trying to sexually assault her.
Oh yeah, that was a weird scene.
But they were the only two there. So when Sam showed up,
it could have been an internal battle.
right?
Because he's the only one that
I don't. But Sam has no. If Sam is really the family of the poacher, he's got really no reason to fight Kai. If they're two separate people,
I don't think that he necessarily knows that he's the family of the poacher. Maybe ever. I think he figures it out after he gets hit in the face with a wrench and he's tied up in the awesome underground bus dungeon labyrinth that they have.
It was the first time that like a 12-year-old tried to assault a 20-something-year-old woman. That was unusual with the Groot mask.
Yeah, that was totally a legit uncomfortable, almost tonally lopsidedly uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was a little weird
scene. But yeah, I think that's it. I think it could go either way. But either way, if neither of those are a thing, they don't really address that photograph where his brother, right, in the picture, face is blanked out. So if they both look the same, you would have got to see that they were both the same. This is why it's not a stretch, Man, Monkey, and Niwa. There's a photograph with two children, Sam, a mother, and someone else, and one of the child's faces are scratched out. Now, it's possible they never go to that identity thing again, but why would they obscure the face of the other one if there wasn't a reason to? A perfectly good reason to is if he looked just like Sam.
So we're not going to figure this one out. I might go back and watch this again to see, but we'll have to see, because I thought all along that maybe that Sam was actually Kai, but we'll see.
Makes sense.
It could go a couple of different routes here, I mean, and both would be legitimate.
And it's very biblically symbolic that both personalities went into the pit and one came out.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So like I think it works both ways.
And what's up with the fucking dude, the poacher type guy? Mm-hmm. He gets burnt to a crisp.
That kind of bothered me.
I don't need to see a doctor.
Yeah, like, you were dead, bro. Like, you shouldn't be alive. And even horror movie logic, like, you fucking blew the fuck up.
The other thing was, I think there was a better ending here. I would have loved to seen Kai and Sam team up to take out the poacher dude. But obviously, that could be, if Sam was related to him, then that's a different thing, Yeah. I think that having the poacher work under this cover of this urban legend of Kai, I think makes for a good cover and a potentially better story. But I like what they're doing. I like the idea of what they have going on, but I think they could have maybe done a little bit more with it, because it's kind of cool to have this this urban legend of this this character Kai, this kid who is a werewolf and bites people and turns them into werewolves, and that's the campfire story. But really, it's this poacher and his son who's kind of crazy, and that's what it is. I kind of wish there was like a little bit more to that urban legend as opposed to just like a campfire tale,
Yeah.
And I also thought it was kind of interesting to see the opening scene. We see that later at the end of the movie. I thought that was kind of interesting because I didn't realize at the time. I thought that was just another random person,
It was done well to keep that illusion until it happened.
Anyone else have any spoiler stuff, or should we go to the verdict?
Verdict.
All right, verdict time.
Trick or treat, baby. I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, verdict time, and I apologize for those folks watching live. It looks like we're having some issues. I have no idea what's going on. Definitely not the router, because that router's fucking been rock solid for the last few weeks, so I have a feeling that the local internet company is having some issues tonight because we're dropping a lot of frames. So apologize to everyone watching. Figures, we have a huge fucking turnout, and we have fucking issues. Unbelievable. All right, I'm going to mix it up. Marzi. Treat. All right, that's it?
Yeah, what else? It's fucking good. See this.
All right, MZ.
I really like the performances of the characters and the actors in this movie. Shot really nice. I love the musical score. I thought the musical score was amazing. And
what about the non-musical score?
The non-musical score was equally as good. And I enjoyed this. This was a good movie. I kind of wish it kind of like started generating itself a little bit sooner rather than the last third of the film. But you know what? Better late than never. Mm-hmm. And in this case, anyway. And first-time director, not too shabby at all. Treat.
All right, Ravenshadow.
Yo, this was this called Whelp in other countries?
Yeah, in Belgium, where
let me tell you.
It's called Whelp. Yeah.
Yeah. So for our Belgium friends, the waffles in the back. No, I enjoyed this. You know, coming off the fucking shit show that was last episode, I watched this with Wife and Shadow, and I enjoyed this. And listen, end of the day, a Mack truck runs over a tent full of kids.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I'm not sure if I'll watch this again, maybe one more time, but I would say it's a treat.
All right, we didn't. I wish we had a little bit more time for this flick.
Nothing
because
ever came of a kid that was fucking making weapons either.
I know.
Right.
The one thing I wanted to talk about was this definitely seemed like it was rooted in some of the films that we grew up with, and I mean, like I'm talking about like the Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah,
like that style of flick. Like I got a vibe from that, but it was a smart.
Sure.
And I don't mean to put down the Friday the 13th films, but this was a smarter take on something along those lines.
And I'm also glad that the tracksuit guy didn't run on too long.
Yeah, I agree. It just
I'm glad it didn't take a fucking Deliverance turn or whatever the fuck.
I also feel they could have done more with that though, and had like if stuff was missing. Well, I guess they did allude to maybe they had stolen their shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess they did a little bit.
And the cop.
But did you guys? I don't want to get into a big discussion. But did you guys get that vibe like a Friday the 13th?
Yeah, but also
Sleepaway Camp, things like that.
Not as effective as like some of the other flicks I've seen that's done it, but it also had like those kids adventure films too, to a degree. You know, like kids did factor in more than they generally do in a slasher movie.
Yeah, children's adventure film. You know, like the aforementioned Goonies.
Say
Battle
that like,
Royale.
Say that like El Goro, children adventure film.
Don't get him started on the El Goro thing.
Children adventure film.
All right.
I don't want El Goro to kill us.
Yeah, don't piss off El Goro.
Don't piss
me off.
Goro, the views of MonsterZero do not reflect the other cats on Trick or Treat Radio.
All right, so let me give my verdict. I think this is a very cool film. I did have some slight gripes about the story, but I still think it was incredibly well made. It had some decent gore. I really like the score, despite thinking it felt a tiny bit out of place at times. And the visuals I thought were great. There was a pretty high body count for a film starring mostly kids, although, like Dynamo said, we didn't get to see a lot of them on camera. But still, it's something different. You don't see this a lot. And, maybe that's a Belgium thing. I don't know. But I hope we get to hear more scores from Steve Moore, because I definitely really love his music. And I think it adds a lot to film, to the films he's scored. So I'm looking forward to seeing some more stuff that he does. And for a directorial debut, I think this is a very, very impressive first showing. I definitely look forward to seeing what Jonas Govaerts has up his sleeve next. So for me, this was a treat. And I think that a lot of folks out there that listen to the show will probably dig this flick. So go check it out. It's going to be available on DVD and Blu-ray and video on demand. What do we call that, MZ?
Kneel before VOD.
I didn't think he was going to find it.
Yeah. So this is going to be available on August 18th. So if you are interested in checking it out, go ahead. And Artsploitation, once again, has
I literally
given
look
us the
like
goods.
a fucking minivan.
What?
Like, why do I look so fat?
Oh, shit. We have Gene Siskel's balding head in chat room. He says, if I was going to watch Mr. Robot, but I skipped it so that I could see a rare glimpse of Ravenshadow coughing up blood. And then,
Ain't all that rare.
And then also our upcoming
Long though.
our upcoming guest, Robert Wronski, is hanging out in the chat room, and he asked, is the Castle Rock reference a reference that counts as a crossover or just a reference to fiction?
Ooh. Oops, sorry, that's your script. There you go.
He's thinking about the update in the book.
Yeah, he's pretty deep.
So
Volume 2.
I think this was just a reference to fiction.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. So I don't know if it actually counts, because it takes place in France, right? That's where they go to France from Belgium to France.
Yeah.
I think,
and it's not really Castle Rock. It's
I think they're
CAS. It's spelled CASSELROQUE.
Yeah.
So it's just pronounced Castle Rock, but it's not really spelt Castle Rock. At least
Right.
not in English terms, anyway.
Yep. So there you have it. Look at that. All treats this week.
Yeah.
So we're back on the treat side of things after last week.
Yeah.
Oof. Let's forget about that.
Was that the first all tricks?
Oh no, we've had a lot of all tricks.
No.
Definitely had a lot of them. We had, didn't we do 2 flicks recently that were both tricks? I can't.
No, because I liked the Bug movie.
Oh, you were the only one, yeah. So that's it. Go check out Cub. And next week, this is exciting. This is exciting.
It is exciting.
And I'm surprised we didn't even mention this earlier. I should have mentioned it early in the show. But Dynamo, next week, we're doing it again. It is the second, it's not really annual, but we're doing the return.
Second annual.
The return of the Wednesday Night Wars. Next week, we are going to be appearing on Outside the Cinema. And they do their show at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll post links up to theirs. And we're also going to do an event page again. So we're going to do that. And then they're going to come on our show. We'll probably be a little bit early because we want to do that back-to-back thing. And we're going to review a flick called Vendetta. You guys hear about this flick? It's directed by your favorite twins, the Soska Twins.
Soska Twins.
Yep.
Tomax and Zaymot.
And it stars Dean Cain and The Big Show.
Word?
Yes.
Dean Cain.
And directed
Dean
by the
Cain.
Barbarian Twins?
No, I said who it was directed by.
I've seen Dean Cain recently on TV. He got fat.
Yeah, he looks like Dynamo.
Yeah.
Leave him alone. He was fucking Superman.
What?
Now he's super duper man.
No, Dean Kane's a good looking guy.
Super size man.
No.
Super Saiyan.
Leave him alone. He banged Terry Hatcher.
How do you know that?
It's my script I'm writing.
Well, Dean Cain thanks you for that.
So we're going to review Vendetta next week.
It might just because I have a 2XL shirt on. Maybe if I take it off.
Yeah, take it off.
No.
Go for it. Yeah.
No, don't take it off. Don't take it off.
And also, we're going to do a wrestling show. We're bringing back the, what do we call it? The trick or
Grindhouse Battle Royal.
No, we called it the Trick or Treat Battle Royal, didn't we?
Nope.
No, we didn't call it the Grindhouse Battle Royal because that's not really what it is. It's an actual Battle Royal. So anyways, we're doing the I think it's the Trick or Treat Battle Royal, and we're going to be reviewing a wrestling show from Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. We're going to do...
Which I am so excited about.
Or a battle royale with cheese.
with cheese, yeah. Ravenshadow, why don't you read the name of the show?
The PWG Mystery Vortex 111.
Jesus fucking Christ. Are you that
What?
inept?
Was
Are
that
you
3?
seriously? Yes.
Where's the
Out of
bars
your
on
mind.
top?
The bars. With the bars on top.
All right, Pwig.
Oh my
Mystery
God!
Vortex.
Never mind. I'm never asking you anything again. We're gonna do Mystery Vortex 3. It took place in June of this year, and it's the first Pro Wrestling Guerrilla show that we've reviewed. So that should be a lot of fun. So if you want to check it out, it's available on DVD, right, Marz?
Yep. At ProWrestlingGuerrilla.com. Everyone who listens to this show knows that I am a fanatical Pro Wrestling Guerrilla fan. So.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna cut this short. We're gonna go to a quick break, and we're going to bring back with our buddy, Robert Wronski. So hang tight, everyone. We'll be back in just a minute. Ravenshadow, you got that?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back in a minute.
I can do it in a minute.
I love Tree of Life. Terrence Malick. I mean, how could you go wrong?
It's vanity shots.
Knocked Up. One of the best comedies of all time.
Nothing funny about that movie. Well, Joe, I love the remake of The Ring.
That's a joke.
Jaws 2, I mean, was just so much fun.
Who'd put that in their top 10?
And, I mean, come on. Silent Hill, great video game adaptation.
Worst movie ever. FilmForThoughtPodcast.com.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
are back. Fucked you up, didn't I, you son of a bitch?
You always do, man.
All right, so we're going to wait just a moment here until Dynamo and Ravenshadow get back. But we're going to connect up with Robert E Wronski Jr., the author of the Horror Crossover Encyclopedia. I know Dynamo has been raving about this book.
Yes, he has.
He has a copy of it here somewhere in studio.
Right here.
Is it over there? Yeah, let me see that. Let me hold it up.
Right there.
All right, this is pretty sizable here. You can see
That's a good-sized tome, my friend.
Yep, the Horror Crossover Encyclopedia. You can see it up here in the corner if you're watching. If you're watching the live feed, right there.
I got to get that book.
Yeah, this thing's pretty intense.
Well, you can get it on Amazon using the Amazon link.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I think I'll do that.
Everyone out there should do that. What I'll do is I'm going to post up a link on the episode when we release it on Friday. There'll be a link to this book to purchase it on Amazon. So there you are, Dynamo. Just wanted to show that on air.
You know what else I like about this book? It has an air of academia, but it's fucking fun. You know, it's not like I have a lot of big, heavy books like this about film that I enjoy them and I like them, but it's like a school book. Like, this is a really good time.
All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and connect up with Robert Wronski? We'll talk to him about this book, about horror, about all sorts of other stuff. I know he's working on another book right now, I think. Right, Marz?
Yeah. It is, I believe, the Universal Cartoon Crossover Encyclopedia.
All right. Well, let's connect up with Robert. Mr. Wronski.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Trick or Treat Radio.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. So we were just thumbing through the Horror Crossover Encyclopedia. Dynamo's been raving about this for weeks now.
Months almost now.
Months, yeah. I think you're right. It might be months. And so we want to dive into that first. But, first of all, why don't you let folks know where they can reach you on social media, where they can find links to buy the book and that sort of thing.
Well, I have a website, www.televisioncrossoveruniverse.com.
All right.
Which is a good resource because I plug all of my other projects on there and my social media and all of that. Plus, I write stuff similar to this book, but more television-based crossovers there. Yeah, so, and you can, the links to buying it on Amazon, the book is there, how to contact me on Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. I don't tweet very much because I think Twitter sucks, but...
All right, so everyone go follow Robert on social media and go check out his website as well. And I guess first, I'm really curious, what initially gave you the idea to do the Horror Crossover Encyclopedia? Is this something you've been thinking about for a while? I mean, obviously, I can't even imagine the amount of work that you put into this book. But what was the initial genesis of the idea?
Well, I've been fascinated with crossovers, like in fiction in general, since I was like a little kid. And I used to keep like notebooks of like tabs. Whenever I saw like a connection to something, I would scribble it down and stuff like that. And horror was one of the genres which I enjoy very much since an early age. And so a few years back, I decided when the internet came about and became discovered by me, I found that there was other people who actually liked crossovers as well. I thought I was just that weirdo who was alone in the universe. So I created a group on Facebook called the Crossovers Forum, where others gathered and we started talking. And then I created the website, televisioncrossoveruniverse.com, and I didn't think anybody would care to look at it or read it, but people did. So I said, well, I always wanted to be a writer, but I really suck at writing fiction, but I'm really good at research. So I decided I was going to write a crossovers book, and I threw out in the crossovers forum, like, which of these genres would you like to have me cover first? And horror was by far the leading choice of all the people in that forum. And that's how it came to be. It took me about 4 years of hard work of watching movies and reading books and surfing the internet, which I was doing anyways. But now I had to take notes while I was doing it. Yeah. Yeah, it was such hard work. What a job.
So, but that's pretty interesting. So, can you pinpoint what was the first crossover that you had sort of that had interested you, or that made you sort of start keeping a listing of these?
Well, the first crossover outside of horror, the first crossover ever was Scooby's Laugh Olympics.
Nice.
That was the first one. It was the first time that I made the connection that all of these characters were from different series. Originally they weren't connected, and then all of a sudden they were thrown in a show together. And
it's the motherfucking Laugh Olympics.
Yeah, Laugh Olympics is the spawning of the Horror Crossover Encyclopedia. Oddly enough, yeah, and
I loved that show.
Yeah,
the Yogi Yahooies and the Really Rottens.
Yeah.
Snidely.
It's so funny that you bring that together, because that show is directly linked to one of my earliest horror memories. Is that when my dear Grammy, who raised me, lived in upstate New York, there was a little in-laws apartment that I would hang out in where no one was paying any mind what I watched. So when they left, I was watching the Laugh Olympics.
Yeah.
And when that ended, the old television movie Gargoyles came on. And I was both terrified and excited, and was a lifelong horror fan from that point on.
Nice.
Nice.
We have so Robert was hanging out in the chat room earlier, but we have Chris G's in the chat room, and he says,
Nice. I love that dude.
Says that's a book you can slap someone with, because we showed it on on the camera. So
it's a very heavy book, yeah.
And he also said, heck, you could get half a volume on Abbott and Costello alone.
Oh, for sure, it's in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I have to tell you, while we have it on, you don't know this, but we're practically related.
Right.
Because, there are Wronskis who I consider not just dear friends, brothers of mine, business partners, and, very, very close friends. And when I found out about this, I was excited. And I was just, trying to, I'm going to help out somebody from my extended family. And I have to thank you, because I can't put this fucking thing down. I'm reading 4 books right now, and a big part of it is that I lose them because I pick up this book, and it's like, where did I put that fucking Dresden book? Well, I got to read another book. And then I'll be like, well, I'm 20 pages into this, but I'll go back and start, oh, I wonder if he talks about this pulp book, and I look that up, and it's fucking great, man. Bravo. This is right up my alley. Pretty much if you made the only thing that you could make a bet, if you made a book about pro wrestling lists, that's the only thing that would hypnotize me more. But otherwise, I'm fucking enthralled.
The Undertaker is in this book, though.
Oh, Stu.
I imagine he would be.
Yeah,
Suburban Commando.
It's like, baby, come to bed. It's time. It's like, I don't know, all this stuff from Shadow Men is in here, fucking right. And I'm I have a list of books I gotta buy. Most of them for some reason are $500. I don't know how that works. I want to get this werewolf book, $500.
Right.
As long as you buy it through the Amazon link.
Yeah, I'm just gonna reading about it in this book.
We have Ivan Shablotsky.
Yeah. Yes.
Ivan.
He wrote the foreword for this book.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, and he did all the proofreading. He was the one who kept telling me, are you sure you want to write this? Are you sure you want to say this? He was very brutally honest in the best way possible.
Awesome. Well, Ivan says the old new Scooby-Doo movies had crossovers with other cartoons.
It's true. That's very true.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And those are all in there, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit, Batman.
Yeah.
Michael Ravenshadow just woke up.
Sandy Duncan like a motherfucker.
Sandy Duncan and a weird eye.
Yeah.
So this, I mean...
Sandy Duncan, the telltale heart of Peter Pan.
So, Robert, with this, I mean, you could probably do a new volume every couple of years. I mean, this is
2019. 2019 will be volume 2.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah. I'm giving it 5 years. 5 years to accumulate enough for a second book.
I'm going to take that week off.
Just the week?
Am I worse or better than the people who PlayStation's coming out. Like, I'm gonna take a whole week off. I'm like, I'm gonna so fucking read about all these different places where the Draculas pop up.
No, unless only unless
The
you're
Draculas.
camping outside the bookstore. People will be camping outside of
I
Best
buy
Buy
all
waiting
my
for the
stuff
next PlayStation.
using the Trick or Treat Radio Amazon link. It's the only.
There you go.
The fact that I just started reading the Destroyer series is the only reason we can afford to do a book show this week. So you can
Sure.
thank fucking Robert and Remo Williams for the fact that he had something to do on Wednesday night.
Doesn't cost you anything, but helps keep the lights on.
And Chris G in the chat room says, "Aces on you, Dynamo, for reading Dresden. I'm definitely going to get a copy of this one."
Oh, you'll love it, man. You'll love it the most.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I got
So-
to get this book.
Yeah, you.
Why don't we do Dynamo? I know we've barely even begun the interview, but why don't you go ahead and make the what you do for people to come on the show if people buy.
Well, if you guys pick up this book and post a picture of it on our Facebook page or any of our personal pages, or just like tag us on Twitter or whatever else, we will give you our EP, The Big Scary Monster Hunts at Midnight. And if you already have it, or you would rather have us do something ridiculous like read Neon Maniac /fiction, or
Well, we could read passages from the book.
yeah, we could, or
Yeah.
though we do have a litmus test of the fact that we know how much it costs to make MonsterZero do the Silence of the Lambs tuck dance. But we will do whatever we want. We're your
Yeah.
slaves and your monkeys, because I am so behind this book that if you support it, I not only guarantee as a fan of this show you will enjoy it, I will play it forward and give you a little something, and the Deadites and Trick or Treat Radio will back me up on this endeavor. 100%.
Absolutely. So
Nice.
So everyone out there who goes and gets the Horror Crossover Encyclopedia, just post a picture of it up on our Facebook group or on Twitter. You can tag us at the Deadites, either one, or even Instagram, I guess, at the Deadites, and let us know that you purchased it, and we'll hook you up with our EP. If you already have it, we'll find something else for you to do. Or if you want to pick a 5-minute segment on the show, we'll allow you to do that as well.
Yep.
So everyone out there, get purchasing and use our link on Amazon, and we'll get a little bit of a cut of it.
Which anyone who's watched it knows that 5 minutes is easily stretched out to 45 to an hour, so you're definitely getting your money's
With all the tangents.
Yeah, exactly.
Which you could make a book called the Trick or Treat Radio Tangent Crossover Encyclopedia.
Oh God, that would be agony for someone to have to write that.
That'd be like the Encyclopedia Britannica.
So I've never done this in the history of Trick or Treat Radio, but I did it with you, Robert, because I wanted to give you time to wrap your head around it.
Right, yeah.
So when doing research for this, what was the craziest crossover you came across? Like the one that you were like, oh my God, like I never would have drawn this conclusion unless I was really looking.
I was really surprised at the large number of children's cartoons that had H.P. Lovecraft crossovers.
Nice.
No kid.
Weird.
Yeah.
Phineas and Ferb, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Digimon, like so many references to Phineas and Ferb, that mad scientist on the show. He has the Necronomicon on his bookshelf. Little cameo, I'm sure not meant for the kids to understand. It's meant for somebody like me watching the show to like, what? Yeah, there was a large number of children's cartoons that got into this book because of Lovecraft, a real large amount, and I was really surprised by that.
Yeah, that's amazing. The one that stands out to me from my late childhood, heading towards teen years, is the real Ghostbusters episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Collect Call of Cthulhu.
Yep.
Oh, snip.
Now I'm going to ask you this question, Robert, but I want to guess first. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm cheating a little bit because I've seen the book, but I didn't count. I'm only remembering off the top of my head. And maybe some of these other guys want to take a guess. But so if you know, what is the property which created the most threads, the most crossovers? I got a pretty solid guess.
Well, I always said that it's a cheat to say Dracula because I split up Dracula series by the version,
right?
In order to limit Dracula, but I would say again, Lovecraft's mythos are probably the glue that really bound together.
That's fair too.
Because it popped up like in so many different places and connected so many different things. Partly because it's public domain,
Right.
so everybody can use it. It's so well loved, and it really holds up over the test of time. Plus, Lovecraft is one of those authors that there are people out there that actually think that it's real. They don't know. Like you talk about the Necronomicon and like, oh yeah, stay away from that book. That's scary.
Right.
They have no idea it's fiction anymore. To be an author that can actually convince you that it was real,
Right. Especially in this part of the world.
Right.
Yeah. I tried to explain before I do my guess. I tried to explain to MonsterZero your Dracula splitting in theory, and he did get it. I did have him come around, but a good part of it looked like, having that talk with your kids. Like he was looking at me that incredulously the whole time. He was like, "Wait, Blackula? Like, what are you fucking talking about, you maniac?" My guess, while you're probably right with Lovecraft, Aliens at least has to be in the conversation, right?
Yeah. The Alien franchise shows up a lot.
Yep.
Which is pretty. I was actually on the fence of whether I wanted to include Alien because it's a science fiction series as well, and I finally came to a point that it's both. Especially the first one.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That first one is definitely a slasher flick.
Right.
But there's a lot of
pops up cross
ones.
mediums too, comics and
I was
other
saying
film
like,
stuff.
Snoop.
Yeah.
Aliens fought Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Batman fought Predator.
Aliens essentially were responsible for launching my favorite super team comic of all time, which is The Authority.
Yeah. Yep.
They killed all of Stormwatch.
I know they made that canon.
Yeah.
That which was really risky, to
Right.
have a comic, an intercompany crossover that is canon.
Yep. Warren Ellis tearing it up and not giving a fuck, as Michael Renshaw would say.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
it's crazy. Like it's just like, and it's what I love about horror too, because even as like the horror, you get to guys like Forrest Ackerman and stuff like that, coming out of the 50s and stuff like that. Like these people that were chronicling this and playing it forward are guys that loved horror.
Right.
And even if you look at Lovecraft and his pen pal, with Howard and kind of how they like put things together, like these are just people who are like having a fucking blast in the same way we would,
Right. And that's why we get a lot of crossovers is because of fans. The fans become writers, and they pay tribute to the things that they're fans of. Stephen King used a lot of Lovecraft as well in his references.
I want to go fight some fucking Draculas just so I can be in your book next time.
Specifically Draculas?
Yes. Like that'd be a fun Deadites webisode where we fight like the El Santo Dracula and the weird Italian Dracula from Dracula's House of Frankenstein and Blackula.
Now I gotta give credit where credit is due. I did not create the soul clone theory, but as I mentioned in the book, Chuck Levitton's of the Monster Group, and that's not a Boston accent, it is MOSTAAH. They have a website as well, and he created it, and he graciously said, yeah, go ahead and use it. And so I did use a lot of his research to launch that forward, because it was just a great way to make the thing work,
Yeah. And it does work. And like I was saying, it's funny. It's an interesting theory because it works in a literary way, one way. But when you bring in a vampire, for instance, like it works in a very literal way.
Right.
Because they actually are creating, like other thems.
And as you mentioned, Blackula, that really kind of proves the point.
Right. Yeah.
Proves the point.
That's what I said to MonsterZero.
Yeah.
And he looked at me like I was a fucking jerk.
What? I've heard of Blackula before.
No, I mean...
heard it. You've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were in it.
Yeah, there's some chatter in the chat room right now. Chris G says, "Holy crap, Billy and Mandy prank call of Cthulhu."
Right.
And Doug W says, "Dr. Doofenshmirtz." Which,
Right. Yeah, he had the Necronomicon on his bookshelf.
Yeah. Ivan says Sherlock Holmes has more crossovers than Dracula.
Yeah, you could be right.
I'll buy that.
In the book, in the Horror Crossover Encyclopedia, Sherlock Holmes shows up like nonstop throughout the book.
I'll buy that.
For a guy who doesn't believe in the supernatural.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, Doctor Who appears in this book a lot too. Another guy who doesn't believe in the supernatural.
Another interesting thing that I came across that really, I'm going to say sometimes on this show I say things that I might say in conversation that I wouldn't say in real life, knowing that these monsters are going to jump all over me. But, aware that that's about to happen when I say one thing that I found in this that really tickled my fancy was like the allusions to like a lot of the French Pulp Fiction stuff.
Yeah.
And like, I'm a huge mark for that since I came across the great book, Shadow Men, the heroes and villains of French Pulp Fiction. And I knew the big ones, but this book really goes deep to talk about, some of the lesser canon, I guess, as you will, and just it's so fascinating to me, and I smiled when I saw Doc Savage in here anyway. So,
right. I'm very fortunate to know a lot of people who write those stories in the Tales of the Shadowmen books. So that I was able to ask them questions about their crossovers and stuff like that. I mean, I have all the books anyways, but, it was really helpful. I didn't know a lot about a lot of the French pulp until I really got into the research of this. So it was really fun to be able to read those stories and call it work.
Yeah, for sure. Didn't, if I remember correctly, Dynamo, didn't Martin Powell write... Didn't he do the was it Sherlock versus they did the crossover with Dracula? Was that the one, or am I thinking of something else?
Who wrote the Halloween Legion? Yeah, it was called. It had a name just like that Sting movie. It was something like something in Black Lace, I think. But yeah, it was a Dracula and
and Sherlock
Holmes.
Yeah, there was a lot of Sherlock Holmes Dracula crossovers, and unfortunately, not all of them like matched up. So, like they would meet for the first time like over and over again in these different stories. That's when I had to employ the alternate universe, divergent timeline theory.
Which is another thing.
Unfortunately, they didn't all fit.
I want to give you a big bravo for because like that's a slippery slope. And you managed to handle that stuff very, very. Scarlet by Gaslight is what we were fumbling for.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
we actually found this on the 18th Wall website. I found it.
Nice.
Who had
that's our publisher. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you handled that definitely. That like once you got into that alternate reality thing, like that it seems like an easy patsy like kind of scapegoat to like fit in whatever you want to. But like, you really handled it, I guess, tastefully, for lack of another way. It really kept me engaged. I mean, I read this like a book in like at three different times, like, and not on purpose. Like I was going to sit down and read it like a book. I just couldn't fucking put it down. And what I mean by a book, like a linear thing.
Yeah, that's why I did it chronologically. I actually had one bad review because it wasn't alphabetical because I call it an encyclopedia. But I really wanted to make it like a history by doing it,
which makes it very readable. Like it, as more than like I have tons of me and MonsterZero collect horror reference books, and what's odd about them that I always say of all the things that I collect, they're the things that always seem to go up in value. And but you read them, you pick through them, you're looking for something. Like I sat down and like I won't lie and say I would be able to write a very good book report on this, but like I read this, like over the course of a couple weeks the first time, like, like through, that was the book I was reading. It took all my attention. I would try to go, I would talk to like, these guys would be waking up in the morning and I would, like answer their texts right away and they'd be surprised that a Nighthawk like me would, be up at 10 in the morning. But the reality is that I was still up because I was reading about Frankenstein. And again,
and his family,
and really expensive. Those, like in all those cool Universal, books that came out. Like just all that stuff was just so fascinating to me. I didn't know it existed, and that's another thing where this book is so invaluable because everyone should write. All these authors and artists and stuff should write you a letter of thank you because and I know I'm not alone, am buying tons of stuff because of this that I didn't have, and not only that I didn't have, that I had never heard of. I really started digging into. Was it maybe I forget? Was it Dr. Mirage? There was one Charlton or Gold Key book that like a comic I had.
Oh, Dr. Spectre.
Dr. Spectre,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That I had never heard
Yeah.
of. That I was like, wow. Like, and as soon as I looked it up, I remember the design of the covers and stuff like that. So I had seen it around, but like, starting to try to track down some of that stuff, and like, like my Amazon wish list swelled after I got this. So I mean it. Like like you're really exposing a lot of people to a lot of cool things.
And a lot of these authors, I was able to contact a lot of them, and they were very gracious about like giving me inside information and helping me out, explaining, some of the motivations behind some of their crossovers. It was great, and of course, besides helping me, it also does help them, because having the books mentioned, in my book, obviously. And that was one of my goals. When I love something, I want to share it.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. The and it was interesting because so Chris G had mentioned Sherlock did a crossover with Drac, if memory serves, and that's the one we were talking about, Scarlet and Gaslight, and apparently he's done more than one, as Ivan points out. So. We have Melissa in the chat room. She says, "How about Hitchcock?" I guess I'm not sure.
I think she's just flirting with me.
Maybe.
I mean, I'm not into that, but I'll try anything.
There was a few mentions of Hitchcock in there, but there wasn't a lot of crossover connections. The Birds, I think, I slipped in there, but I didn't do a separate entry on it because it was a fine line, especially as the book was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I had to pick and choose what things I would just mention in another entry that is connected, as opposed to giving something its full entry. I think I did a full entry for every Nightmare on Elm Street film, whether there was a crossover or not, which I guess shows some of my preferences. But yeah, whereas some things it was just getting, the book was getting thicker and thicker, and I just had to draw a line. But I tried to be very objective when it came to crossover inclusions. Some of my writing about crossovers, I was very biased, but the inclusions themselves, I was very objective in the inclusions.
Yeah, the one thing I'm curious about, Robert, is obviously this is stuff you've been sort of tracking for a while, but how long would you say it took you to complete the book from when you decided that you were actually gonna do this until you were complete with it?
When I first created the document that became the book, it was the spring of 2012, and then it was last December when the book was finally published.
So we're looking at, like, I guess almost 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Crazy. So, and was this a full-time job for you, or was this something that was just something you did in your spare time?
It started off as a spare time.
Yeah.
And then as I went along, it became more of a full-time project. I decided this is what I'm gonna do. I was working some other jobs, and I decided I'm going to be poor, be a writer, and make that sacrifice. But I really feel it was worth it, and I'm still doing it. I'm working on the cartoon crossover encyclopedia right now, so to come out next year. So I think the books will come out faster now, because the first one I really had to figure out the format that I was going to use, the methodology. A lot of details that now that I've got it down, it's a little bit quicker to knock them out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ivan in the chat room says probably the oddest was an alien in the animated Ace Ventura Mask crossover.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. I don't even know anything about that.
Yeah,
pretty
you know,
obscure.
I don't think I included that one. There was a lot of alien ones that I actually left out. There was an alien in a Buffy comic. Yeah, the Xenos, they show up all over the place too.
Yeah, like the
Damn.
like the
Teenage
roaches they
Mutant
are
Ninja
based on.
Turtles.
Wow.
I mean,
This
that's
new Turtle
pretty
comic-
exhaustive. That's an exhaustive book.
Yeah, the new Turtles.
I'm getting tired just hearing you
cartoon-
talk about it.
The new Turtles cartoon had a lot of cool horror, like not necessarily crossovers, but a lot of cool horror references.
Yeah.
Including Evil Dead, and there was a Friday the 13th. It's neat that these people who are us essentially, and by us I mean people who are making money,
Right.
are
Yeah, right.
out in the people who are making these cartoons for kids, because they hopefully will grow up interested in looking for some of these things, because there was a void in between Creature Double Feature and all the stuff that we grew up on, and like the want for a reason for people to look this up. My gateway, I'm sure a lot of people's gateway, was Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Like I had talked about catching that Gargoyles, but like it wasn't like Abbott and Costello made it palatable for me. So like there hasn't really been that thing. There wasn't a Monster Squad or anything for quite a while to make young people like it. So I'm really glad to see that there are so many like cartoon horror crossovers. I'm also very excited for your next book because blow you over with a feather, I'm a big nerdy cartoon fan too.
Right.
MonsterZero is salivating, wanting to know how many Transformers crossovers there are.
I haven't gotten to Transformers yet. Well, I've gotten a few, but yeah, I actually think this one is going to come out as a 2-volume book.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Because I am like covering every Family Guy episode, every Simpsons episode.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And like all the little, I'm actually pointing out with Family Guy, like what's a cutaway crossover that may or may not be real, as opposed to what's in the story, I'm really being
Amazing.
detailed.
Amazing.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Treehouse of
Way too
Terror.
obsessive about cartoons.
Yeah.
The Simpsons Treehouse of Terror alone would be a book, just in
Yeah.
and of itself.
Yeah, that's what it's funny. Melissa in the chat room just said, "Was there a lot in Simpsons Treehouse of Terror?" And yeah, I can't even imagine like that. That is going to be a couple chapters all on its own.
As an aside,
Right.
Bob, if you want to hear about Transformers, invite MonsterZero over. Over the years, him talking to me about Transformers, like every couple years I have him do it because it grows my virginity back.
And it solidifies mine even more.
It's like now I can go out and do this again.
So
my big pain with the new book is having to watch anime. I'm not a big anime fan, which I think in the Horror Crossover Encyclopedia I mentioned that I covered Digimon crossed over with Lovecraft, and I said, yeah, I don't care about Digimon, but I have to write this down. that was my brutal. That's where I separate from academia, I guess.
yeah.
which is part of what made it fun, like it felt like sitting around and talking to you about these things, I granted had an impression about your voice because I have sat around with some of your blood and had these conversations, like just that farmer book alone, me and you know him as Joe, but we call him MC 900 Foot Wronski, have driven around for hours talking about that thing, Bruce Wayne, Doc Savage, like my young head exploded.
Yeah, I think at one point I did a Sabrina Boy Meets World in the book, and I apologized for it in the comments.
This is one interesting question we just got in the chat room. Chris G asks, was there anything that was omitted that you really wish could have been included?
Just give Chris G one of these guys' job.
I know, right?
That's a good one. There was some things I couldn't, like the Saw series. I couldn't find a crossover to link it in, and I really like the Saw series. And it felt like with all the other slasher stuff that I had that should be in there, but there was just no crossover to pull it in, and I just couldn't do it. It was very very objective methodology and not whether I like something or not, which is why Digimon gets in and Saw doesn't.
In a way, this is this could be, and I'm sure you've probably thought about this, but this could be kind of like a cool like drinking game or something like that to, just to try to. It's almost like the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon sort of thing,
Yeah. I equate it to the 6 degrees, because the starting point, like, to do this, I had to start like with doing circles, and the center of it was Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Because it was one of the first horror crossovers I'd ever seen. It tied together that whole Universal universe. So then from there I went, okay, Universal Dracula, Universal Frankenstein, Wolfman, and Universal Invisible Man, who makes a cameo in that. What do they connect to? And then that creates the next circle, and then what does that connect to, and what does that connect to, et cetera, et cetera. That's how and then I would draw the line whenever it was a non-horror series. I wouldn't continue on that branch, but if another horror series was brought in, then that would become another connector. What does that connect to?
I'm exhausted just thinking about it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like I just can't get enough of this sort of stuff.
Sincerely, it's an exhaustive.
I'll tell you what I'll tell you what I'm going to do, right? And it's going to help all of us, right?
Okay.
I don't know if it will be a Deadites comic or a Deadites webisode, but you ready?
Yep.
Dracula, who's in the public domain, right?
Yeah.
Will get kidnapped by. We won't come right out and say that it's Jigsaw because we don't own that. Right? But he'll get kidnapped by Jigsaw, right? And someone will pay the Deadites, right?
Yep.
To go rescue Dracula.
All right, so we can make that happen.
We're all in the fucking book.
2019. Here we go.
Yeah.
I just got Saw in there for you.
If it's a webisode, then it counts within my criteria for fiction that I can use. So
See?
All right, we'll make it happen.
or a webcomic. And I was actually on the fence with that, but Ivan and my publisher, they convinced me that that's legitimate. I guess I'm old. I was like, no, it's too like fan fiction, but they brought me into the 21st century with that.
That's that's certainly a so good question there.
So we'll call him
Chris
Not
G.
Saw.
Yeah, not Saw, not Jigsaw. Yeah,
and we'll have our friend Jigsaw be in it, and then Shakara will be in there.
Well, one of the tricks that a lot of crossover writers do, and they use it in Tales of the Shadowmen books, is they'll reference like a very smaller character from like a film or a book, a minor character, and then mention like the events, and then that pulls it in without breaking the the infringement rules type of thing,
Everyone thinks I'm joking, but I'm starting to write this tomorrow. Like I have like an actual paid thing that I'm supposed to be working on right now. Like, yeah, I'm sorry, I can't write this film right now because I'm writing Deadites webisodes that only are going. And not only that, you are facilitating the Deadites webisodes actually happening after 10 years of talking about it, so I can get Jigsaw into the Horror Encyclopedia dose. El Hijo El Horror Crossover Encyclopedia. I'm Jack now. I'm fucking pounding frescas.
Jesus Christ! You only brought 6 of them. We had another question, and this is a good one. Ivan asks, will Robert be selling and signing copies of his book at any bookstores or conventions? And then there was a follow-up by MC 900-foot Wronski in the chat room.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he's hanging out. And he
Hey, I was just saying nice things about you.
And he said, we are working on dates for signing. So can you elaborate on that a little bit more, Robert?
Yeah, we are working with some stores, one particular in the Worcester area that we'll be doing a book signing with, but we haven't signed contracts yet, so I probably shouldn't mention it. But it is in the Worcester area because my family members are acting as pro bono publicists for me, and
nice.
very, very graciously, they happen to have a lot of connections in that area.
You got a whole goddamn organization in that family.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I am going to be at Inconceivable, which is a convention here in my town of Northampton, Mass, where I will not be selling books, but if anybody brings the book to the convention, I will sign it for free. I will be sitting at the registration desk, so I don't have to pay a vendor fee. Isn't that?
That's smart. We should do that, Dynamo.
At the third register in the back.
I just volunteered to do the convention, as a worker, and they say, yeah, if you want to sign books too, go ahead.
Yeah,
so
for like $5 more, you get the CD.
We'll be at the third bathroom stall at Rock and Shock this year. Come see us.
We'll be there with Virgil.
Yeah, we'll have the air mattresses set up. A couple of space heaters.
That's how much they like us. Yeah. Like after 3 years of playing, our dressing room got demoted to a kitchenette.
So another interesting question, since I have not had a chance to. I've just been thumbing through the book, but I definitely need to pick this up. But we have Cornjob in the chat room says,
No, don't have Cornjob ask.
he says, does he go into any Godzilla?
I do actually, but I very limited. I included an entry about Godzilla, and then I included in the comment section like all the other Godzilla movies. But I did not go into all the individual, Toho series in that. I think I when I got to Godzilla, I was near the deadline for getting the book out.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, maybe when I get to volume 2, I will expand on this, but I have to at least mention it. There are other entries throughout the book where Godzilla does show up. So I do, including I do mention the new Godzilla movie, and I mentioned Pacific Rim
in a book series, right? That we decide. Oh, you did like I was fucking in it. Like I was like, we decided that it took place in an alternate divergent timeline.
Yeah, I wrote the book, but I had a lot of people chatting behind me saying, "Oh, you should do this, you should do that." I consulted with a lot of people. We have on our website, intelligentcrossoveriuniverse.com, we have what we call the TVCU crew, which is a group of people that really got into the crossovers like I did, that I said, well, you should be writing blog posts too. And I got them on there. So I'm not the sole writer of that group anymore, which is nice. And they've all been like consulting me on the book. So that's why when I use the word we and our, it's because it's really like a family thing. Yeah, we really...
and when I say it, it's just because I'm a fucking weirdo. Like I read it so much, it's like, this Godzilla doesn't count.
So there you go, Cornjob. There's there is some
that was
Godzilla.
Very respectable. Like he didn't say a single thing in that question that made me cringe. Normally, every word today that comes out of Cornjob's mouth makes me sound like Chet when he found out he had elephant balls.
we have Gene Siskel's balding head says Abbott and Costello meets Hillary Clinton. I don't think that's in the book.
That's a weird campaign.
Give it time. Give it time. It
Is
will
that the
be.
ticket that's going to win this year?
Yeah, it's in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And MC 900 Foot Wronski says, I'm listening, Marz.
I know, I love it. Finally, it only took a fucking night
3
off,
years.
a relative, and a fucking broken shoulder to get him. Guy's incapacitated. He probably didn't even mean to put it on.
He clicked the link.
I can't turn it off.
Yeah.
This is not 4-tube.
He's like, oh yeah. He was like, oh yeah, this is happening today.
Where are the boobs? Oh, there. There's 4
Take
of
your
them.
shirts off, guys.
There's Agent Akira in the back. It's exciting. He looks good, though. I saw him.
Who?
Your boy, Wronski.
Which one?
The tall one.
MC 900 Foot
The
Wronski?
900-foot one, yeah.
The tall
Yeah,
one.
there's 2 of them. From a distance,
The other one.
From a distance, they look similar. One of them will be
do.
very nice and talk to comics about you. The other one will fuck you up like a car crash if you scare him. So you don't want to.
I'm not sure which one is which.
Yeah, be careful. Well, you're still here. So I have a guess.
So one thing I'm curious about is, are you going to be doing any fiction, Robert, or is this going to keep? This sounds like it'll keep you busy for a long time. But do you have any designs of doing some fiction?
I've written a lot of fiction in my lifetime, and it all sucked. So I am actually I'm writing some books in between to make quick cash to finance these nicer books that I'm self-publishing that are reprints of some of the blog posts from the TVCU blog with added material. And in the next one that's coming out, I'm actually writing my first Lovecraftian story, which will have crossovers in it, of course. And I'm including it as a bonus so that nobody feels like they had to pay to read my sucky writing. They can just be like, okay, well, this was a freebie at the end. That way, if nobody likes it, or, and if people like it, maybe I'll do another one. Yeah.
Cool. So is there, I'm wondering what kind of feedback have you gotten about the book? I mean, obviously you said you did get one negative review on Amazon because it wasn't in alphabetical order, but have you heard from people who...
Oh my God, I'm caught in a sneeze. Everybody on the thing is going to think I'm having a stroke.
Have you talked to any people that like, oh my God, I've been waiting for something like this? Or what kind of feedback have you gotten from the book?
I've actually had a lot of really good feedback, which I was surprised because, I not very high esteem of myself apparently, but and I to help promote the book, I created a Facebook group just for the horror universe and the Horror Crossover Encyclopedia, which has a fairly good number of people, and it's a place where people can post new news about crossovers, which makes my job easier for writing the next book.
He said news, Michael Ravenshadow, not nudes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. No nudes in that group.
Sucks.
Yeah. But, and it's weird. I've actually, I was actually at the mall one time and somebody came up and you're like, hey, you're the writer of that horror book. And I had no idea who this person was. And I was like, holy crap, my first celebrity moment. Usually in Northampton, I can still count on people to make me feel like a nobody. So it's nice when somebody actually recognized me from having wrote the book. But yeah, a lot of people seem to like it. A lot of people are pressuring me to write the volume 2, which is definitely why I'm going to do it. So it's definitely keeping me going, and being a poor starving artist. That I've had a lot of positive feedback to keep going. So
awesome. We have Chris G in the chat room says, hell, setting this book up sounds like it was Lovecraftian.
Yeah. I think I had to pray to some old ones.
Yeah. I seriously, when I think about just sitting down to write fiction or even just to write copy for the podcast episode, I'm overwhelmed. Oh my God, where do I start? I have to write a paragraph and I'm overwhelmed, but I can't even comprehend doing this kind of project. I just can't even imagine. Obviously, I know you said you have people in the community that have been a great help, but still this is just a massive amount of work.
Yeah, it was definitely, like I said, in the beginning it became part-time, and then I realized if I ever wanted to complete it in a decade, I had to make it a full-time job, and I just decided I was going to be committed to this. It was, and I really had to set up a schedule for myself, okay, I'm gonna research this type of stuff at this time, and look at this, and the charts I had to make, and to keep track of the connections, and then by the time I got to the end, I had forgotten some of the stuff I had written in the beginning.
Yeah.
And when I had to go through and proofread it, I realized some of the tone, some of my theories had actually changed over the year, the years that I'd been writing it, and I had to go back and edit some of the earlier stuff because I didn't write it in the order in which you read it. because I was doing the connections things, I wrote it in the order in which I found a new crossover, then I put it in, and then I put them all chronologically. So, the first entry you read in there isn't the first entry I necessarily wrote. Since I wrote them all out of order, I had to really go back and fine-tune the continuity to make sure it all made sense for somebody who's going to read it from front to back.
Yeah, no kidding. And that must have been such a Herculean effort right there as well. Jeez.
Yeah.
We have Melissa in the chat room says a real friend references Stephen King and her friends are Leatherface and Dracula. It's one of the films in 6 films to keep you awake from Spain. So I don't know. It might be one to track down. I don't know.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. And
I bet you'd love this book, Melissa.
Yeah, I think everyone in the chat room would love this book.
Yeah.
So
This is right in their wheelhouse.
MC 900 Foot Wronski says walking with Rob in Northampton is like walking with a rock star.
Ooh. Go buy some lesbians.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people in this town. Yeah.
He would know what that's like from hanging around with me in this city.
Wait, no, people throw like rotten tomatoes at you.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do? I thought that meant I was getting reviews on that site.
You're 100% rotten tomatoes.
I thought that every time somebody did that, like, I got the thumbs up. I'll tell you what, you're lucky you don't have MC 900 Foot Wronski. Like, I role play with the guy, and I haven't even started, and I'm already getting critiques. You ready for next week? I should be ready. And he fucking turned into, like, Yoda. No, oh, no, there is no you should be.
Right.
You're ready.
That's awesome. So,
your book is the source of 2 of my adventures in my Wednesday night game, though. So there's something else.
Wow.
See? Yeah.
oh, interesting. Is it that's the one that you're working on there?
Yeah, not
Dynamo?
the rape yetis on a boat one, but the other 2.
The other 2.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can expound upon? Or?
No, because I'll do it, and then Joe will it'll be Joe's turn to run, and then magically all of a sudden Joe will have rape yetis on a boat. Or something,
So, as we start winding down here, Robert, I'm wondering. So, obviously, we know sort of what's on deck next. You're working on the cartoon crossover.
Right.
Is there anything? And I know you had mentioned a volume 2 of the horror crossover, but is there anything else on your radar? I know that's a shit ton of work, so I can't imagine that there's too much more on your plate.
In 40 years. What are you going to do next?
Yeah, exactly.
I only have a 17-year plan. I do, because I'm crazy like that. I did just put out the first volume of the blog post reprints with some added material called Television Crossover Universe Worlds and Mythology Volume 1, which talks about DC Comics crossovers to television and film, not necessarily DC films and television, but where DC characters connect with other television shows and films. And it talks about Family Guy, Simpsons. It's unlike this crossover book. It's very theory filled, like extremely theory filled. I have a connection where I trace the lineage of Family Guy, Simpsons, and South Park back to the Flintstones as if they're like a family tree.
Nice.
And I throw in Abbott and Costello in there too. And then I have a short one with all the Doctor Who crossovers in it.
Nice.
And then I'm working on a second volume, which is going to cover Marvel. And then it's going to cover television and film crossovers involving God, Jesus, and the devil, and one with fairy tales and folklore. Nice. So I should offend a lot of people.
I learned on the internet today it's easy.
To offend people on the internet?
Yeah. When
It's very easy.
where are these available?
This one, Television Crossover Universe Worlds of Mythology Volume 1, which is a mouthful, is also on Amazon.
Okay.
I'll
be
you go to
buying that right
Amazon and you click on my name, it'll bring you to the page that has all my books, which is 2 right now. That one's only available as ebook right now because it's self-published.
I don't have anything to read an ebook on.
Yeah,
You're killing me, Robert.
I am working on the paperback, but
could you just send me your notes?
I am technology dumb, so it's so much easier when 18th Wall publishes my books than when I do it myself.
We don't know anybody that's technology dumb.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, Ravenshadow, we're looking at you. We don't even have to look at you. And he's like, hey.
If you've been watching the feed, you see these two guys that they're looking at their phones. They're not watching a movie. They're trying to figure out how to answer a text.
I gotta call my mom. I'm not gonna make it for dinner.
So everyone out there should definitely go take a look at this book, the Horror Crossover Encyclopedia, and all of Robert's other work, but especially like I think people listen to this show are going to find that book incredibly interesting.
I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah,
Me too.
Reservoir Doug, this is a great gift for you. And you know who would like this? Buy it for Big Scott. That dude will like it too.
Yeah, he'll like it the most.
Yeah,
He'll dig it the most.
Yeah, he would dig it the most. He'll be disappointed about Godzilla, but he'll dig it the most otherwise.
So this is, I can't even imagine how many like sleepless nights you had working on this, Robert. But this is truly an amazing accomplishment, and you should definitely be proud of the work that you've done. And
Thanks.
hopefully everyone out there can also take a look at this, because it's quite an effort to put this together. So before we do that, before we say goodbye here, Robert, why don't you go ahead and just once again plug all your stuff. I want people to be able to find your work, find you on social media, and anywhere else you want them to find you. If you want to give your address, go for it.
1313 Mockingbird Lane.
Give us your phone number while you're
number is. So Horror Crossover Encyclopedia is available on Amazon as paperback or for Kindle. Intelligent Crossover Universe, Worlds of Mythology, Volume 1. Just for Kindle for now. You can find out all the information about everything I'm doing and lots of other crossover goodness at www.televisioncrossoveruniverse.com, which is all smushed together as one word. And you can find me on Facebook, and all the links to where I am on Facebook are on that website. So I'm like always on Facebook. I like live on it. I carry it on my phone. Yeah, I am always logged into Facebook. I have a problem.
So if the reason the book doesn't come out, the second volume doesn't come out till 2020, we know why now.
I always try to justify that I connect to my networking of other people that help me with my books through Facebook. So that's my excuse for being on. But
yeah.
But then I post pictures of cats and stuff, and it's just terrible.
I make that excuse too, and then somebody picks up my phone and sees that it's Redheaded Babysitter Game.
Yeah, something very different.
Yeah. Who I still don't buy. I still don't understand how she's employed.
Jesus Christ.
There's never a kid in any one of those. Like, I don't know who she's watching.
Sleeping.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was a classy interview until
Unless
then.
she's responsible for those 3 African American gentlemen. Like, I'm not sure otherwise.
What? You just went to a dark place. What are you doing?
Why? Because
what do you mean a dark place?
No.
Oh, man.
Ivan says if the second book doesn't come out in 2020, it's because Robert was assimilated by the internet.
Right.
It'll be called Face Bob, right?
Right.
All right.
It'll be like the Emilio Estevez episode of Nightmares.
Wow, that's a deep.
Yeah,
number.
that's a deep cut right there.
Wow. Jeez. Hashtag never kissed a girl.
Is that in the book anywhere?
No, that one did not get it.
I wonder why.
The addendum.
You're the only one that's seen it. That's why.
Him and Emilio Estevez.
Yeah, and his mom.
Mama Estevez were like, I don't think I'm going to be watching that one, Charlie.
No, Shout Factory's putting that out. I can't wait.
Charlie, tell your brother I saw it. I didn't see it.
Oh man! All right, Robert. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. This it was a fun conversation, and I really would love everyone to go check this book out. And I imagine we'll probably have you back on in the future to talk. Like we can dive deep into this a little bit more, and also talk about the cartoon crossover encyclopedia when that's getting ready to come out.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Are you saying this wasn't fun?
No, this was a ball. But
MonsterZero's like, this was fucking rotten.
No, this fucking ruled.
Finally, something good.
No, but I love cartoons.
Something I
man.
give a shit about.
No, but I love cartoons, man. I love horror references in cartoons.
Not more than you love horror more than cartoons.
Yeah.
Yes, but I love horror references in cartoons.
Let's go fucking watch Garfield. The fucking Hair Bear bunch.
Candy.
I smell a book in your future, MonsterZero. Horror references in cartoons.
I would be happy if he read a book.
Yeah, I'd be happy if you wrote a paragraph.
Yeah.
I read a book before.
Yeah, though it's shaped like a book, TV guide, not a book. It's like, what time is Nightmares on?
With Emilio Estevez. Emilio.
Call me young gun.
All right, Robert. So everyone go check out the book, Horror Crossover Encyclopedia.
And buy it.
Give me your money.
Yes.
And buy it. And if
Yeah,
we
buy
see you with it, you can have some Deadites music. Or,
take a picture of the book once you receive it. Post a picture on the Facebook group, on Twitter, on Instagram, and tag us in it. And we'll make sure you get some free stuff, or you get to pick a segment on our show.
Ooh.
Yeah.
A short segment, 5 minutes.
Slow it
them
down.
dance.
All right. Well, we really appreciate your time,
Thanks,
Robert.
man.
I know
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
We kept you up late here on the East Coast.
Oh,
but
no worry. I stay up till 3 in the morning writing usually.
all right. Well, I don't feel so bad. You're going to keep us up late.
You can jump on and fight about movies with me and Joe DeCanio at 4 a.m.
Exactly. All right, Robert. We'll definitely catch up with you soon. Thank you so much for joining us, and great work on this book, and everyone should go check it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much.
All right. Take care, Robert.
All right.
All right. Bye.
I love this goddamn book.
I know. It's like doesn't leave your fingertips.
No, it rides with me like in my man purse, as it's called. Andy Aries, Son of War, finally justified. Everyone was calling it a man purse at the Deadites thing, and Andy Aries said it's a satchel, like Indiana Jones had. So
all right. You can't really argue that.
No, right? So that's a manliest of a man.
The book is amazing. I mean, I've leafed through it, and just looking at all the references that are used in every single one, and there are lines and lines and lines, not just a couple here and there, but just lines and lines and lines. Of
That's a
references.
fucking party.
It's just absolutely ridiculous. The work that must have gone into this book. The only other book that I could think of that probably took more time to do would be
the Bible.
No.
Have you ever read that, Ravenshadow?
They made a book out of that? Who was that guy from Lord of the Rings? No, Lord of the Apes. Planet of the Apes.
Lord of the Apes.
Lord of the Apes. Watch the movie instead.
Lord of the Dance.
Who's that guy from the Last Temptation of Chris?
And
it's Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
The only book that I could think of, reference book that I could think of that would be even more exhaustive than this.
Jesus, your reference is the length of a book.
Well, I'm trying to say it.
I think the episode has to be
dictionary.
No,
the episode has to be Nicholas Winding references.
Tim Lucas's book on Mario Bava. That thing is a behemoth of a fucking book.
It better be. It costs $900.
Yeah, no shit,
hyperbole
right?
or exaggeration.
Yeah,
like that thing's sitting on my wish list at the very bottom.
For $900, it better be fucking Jodorowsky's Dune fucking book.
No, this thing is a fucking behemoth of a book.
Is it a behemoth?
But
That's it.
You're listening to KBILLY. And if you're the 12th caller, you'll win 2 tickets to the Monster Truck Extravaganza being held this weekend at the Carson Fairgrounds.
What the fuck?
Featuring Big Daddy Daboheen and his truck, the Behemoth.
What the fuck?
Well done, sir.
Oh, that's good.
Pretty good.
12th caller wins them on KBILLY.
So televisioncrossoveruniverse.com. Go check that out. I just wanted to get that one more plug. It's a pretty awesome site. I love seeing our guests crossover. We should do a Trick or Treat Radio crossover encyclopedia.
Oh.
Right here we have Martin Powell and Robert E Wronski crossing over in a blog post.
I'd like to do some sort of like literary work or crossover with Alex DeCampi.
No, I think you want to do something else with her.
No, I'm not that guy anymore.
Yeah, it's been about a half an hour since you changed.
You get a sex change.
You're very brave.
Melissa says, hey, the Bible has great stories, lots of blood and guts.
I like Melissa.
And Chris G says, hey, I've never been tempted.
I might actually have to read that book now.
Tempted, but the truth is discovered.
What's been going on now that Robert's gone?
There's no content.
It de-escalates.
I hear the crickets chirping.
I do have crickets. Where do they go?
Ooh.
I can't breathe. Neither can Ravenshadow. We got nothing to say.
There's
it
no
takes
crickets.
45 minutes to.
We got to get the credit. We got to get the crickets.
MonsterZero's reference.
Oh, there we go.
Loud.
Wow. Close the window.
Open a window.
All right, so we have we've got about a half hour left in the show. We got some feedbacks to get to.
Ease the feedbacks.
Ease the feedbacks.
I've learned I have to time it better. 11:30 is right when my allergy medicine wears out, and I turn into a big wheezing mess. It gets in my fucking beard.
Robert is he's still hanging out in the chat room. He says, I've had arguments with people saying my book will send me to hell, and I respond, the Bible is a horror book.
Nah.
Whoa. Okay, now we know where Rob's at.
Well, I have had arguments because of your book, and it is sending my marriage to hell. So,
you're not married,
huh?
You're not married.
Well, I've never told you guys, but you know I'm not married. Do you think I would invite you guys?
Hey.
What?
Do you think we'd come if you did?
Well, bachelor party, at least.
Yeah.
Ain't about you, motherfucker. It's about the other fucking married guys.
Right.
So it pisses me off about fucking... Yeah, I don't want to talk about
What?
it. No, you're the fucking guy. Oh, have a bachelor party. Oh, with the strippers. No, we're going to play fucking laser tag.
No, that's
really.
That's what we're gonna do at my. Well, there's no strippers at my bachelor party.
There's gonna be.
No, there's not, because there's the fucking internet. Like, you can look at naked girls.
That's how we get
online.
them.
Huh?
There's like Craigslist.
No, see,
You don't even know what Craigslist is.
My
No, I'm not sure.
My bachelor party is gonna
People seem to
have-
die and get laid. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Let's put it this way: it's gonna be fucking up to like Wolfie and Tiny White and Aries. So you think there's gonna be
God
fucking
damn it.
strippers?
Jesus.
No fucking meat.
Yeah.
No
Ravenshadow,
breasts.
you're about as sharp as a wet bag of dicks.
No, it involves
you
like
know
an
that?
N64 and like
Yeah.
bumper cars.
We're gonna rent a theater like that thing you're talking about. We're
Fucking
gonna rent a
PG
theater.
fucking 13.
You could
It's
go.
because he doesn't know how to use the internet.
Well, no, it's it's because you can go to fucking Hurricane Betty's any day.
Why
You
don't
don't
on your special day?
I don't know.
That justifies it.
It's my special day. I should be the only one seeing a naked girl.
No, but it's not about the guy who's getting married. It's about the other married guys. It's everyone's day.
MC Not Harry Wronski, he doesn't want to go to a strip club.
Yeah, well, he's not. He's spoiler alert. He's not fun.
He's wicked fun. That dude masturbated himself into a shoulder injury. You see, he's all fucking typed up like the spirit of '76.
I love him.
Oh, bandage around his head and
Chris,
everything, huh?
Chris G asks, strippers playing laser tag?
That's a fucking event.
We actually kind of had that go on while we were working at another child's place once.
To be
definitely
fair,
had girls in underwears playing laser tag.
In underwears?
Yeah.
Maybe a fog machine.
Yeah, maybe a fog machine.
Topless
Maybe
ladies playing laser tag. Now,
I
that
may
sounds like
have
fun to
broke
me.
one of the boundaries at laser tag watching two ladies in underwears tussle over one laser tag gun.
There might have been some Sepultura in the background. That was a weird night.
Two ladies in underwears.
Oh, that was one of the, I still remember, like, of all the shitty things that I've done to hurt myself, that was one of the hurt myself that I remember. I think it's because, like, I was at full attention in another part of my body that hit at the same time as my face did, and I knocked over a laser tag barricade that was cemented into the ground. Those were good times. We really took advantage of that place. We had wrestling shows.
Here's... sorry to interrupt. We had a good question I thought maybe we could tackle right now.
Did it involve underwears?
Yeah, and
No.
big.
Well,
giant
it might.
Giant windows next to a highway that should have been brought other folks' attention.
Melissa asks, Oh, wait, before we get to that, Rocky says, gotta run, guys. Have a great night, folks.
Love you, Rock.
See you, Rock.
See you, Rocky.
Take care, buddy.
Okay, bye.
Melissa says, what's your most anticipated horror film? Oh, I think that's a good question.
I do.
It's a fair question.
And my answer, I think, is Cooties.
Cooties. Interesting. I'm surprised you didn't say 31.
What's 31?
Don't even. Just don't even.
It's the new Rob Zombie film.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
I thought it was fucking the Tyrannosaurus Rex thing. T-Rex.
He has been making that for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, like 31. Like, oh shit, 31.
Well, it was
thought
only,
it was that hockey film.
It was only all over our fucking message board like every week since it got announced.
Wait, it's a hockey movie?
No.
I thought I was doing that about the Canadian.
Climb back into this, okay?
Well,
and
like
don't come out until we say it's okay.
Well, like it's not like fucking snip Avengers 3 because that's coming out like
right, but we haven't been talking about Avengers 3 on the message board every single week.
What page was that on?
31 is the new Rob Zombie film that was first talked about because some of us love Rob Zombie, then talked about
I love Rob Zombie.
Some of us got fucking a burr in their saddle because they hate when like they think all people who make movies and music are billionaires and they should be able to fund their own films. And then it got a lot of hype because he started releasing set photos. It looks awesome.
Melissa says, did he say cooties? He mumbles and whispers sometimes.
Yeah, no, I did say I did say cooties. It's because I can't breathe.
This is a tough one for me, and maybe you guys might not agree with me, but since I'm such a big fan of his, I'm going to say Crimson Peak.
Yeah. I am excited about that, but like he is...
Wait, who's that?
Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah. No, I'm feeling that, but I'm being the hardcore horror fan that I am, and gore fan. It's got to be Green Inferno.
I'm looking for some snuff films.
I really can't. Well, American Guinea Pig was just released not too long ago. So,
would it be
check that out? I haven't seen it yet, but I hear it's incredible.
Would it be pretentious of me to say I would be more excited about Crimson Peaks if it was in Spanish?
No.
Si.
Well, si, senor. Chris G says T-Rex playing hockey.
That's a fucking movie.
That is a movie.
How about the
I can't believe I put Melissa over and then she's making fun of me.
She says Rob Zombie's a god, Lords of Salem.
See?
No, you're
but
right.
she was just mean to me, so we're not friends anymore.
No, I like Lords of Salem.
I love Lords of Salem.
I love Lords of Salem.
We loved.
I loved it.
I loved it.
I didn't love it as much as I love Devil's Rejects, which is one of my favorite films
I like
ever.
Sheri Moon Zombie's
Yeah, I like that too, but
Caboose.
I'm not that type of guy.
Well,
She
you could
doesn't really have a caboose.
you could just find
She
just
has
watch
like
any.
She has like a flat board. It's not a caboose.
No.
Yeah, I can relate.
You could watch any Rob Zombie film and find her ass sticking out.
Or album cover.
The word the name Moon in her name, she probably got just from showing off her ass all the time.
Reservoir Doug says the Dynamo biopic. That is a horror film.
It's true.
Who would you get to star in the Dynamo biopic?
Ryan Gosling. Jesus Christ. Who do you think?
No, Ryan Gosling would star as my girlfriend. Put a red wig on him.
Gene Siskel's balding head says The Visit. Yes. The Visit. I don't know anything about that.
The Visit. I think I've heard of that.
Oh, he just posted on a trailer. The Visit. No, okay, yeah, I have heard about this one. It's M. Night Shyamalan. Ding Dong.
I think that Mike Myers would play me in my biopic.
Yeah, baby.
Sorry.
Cornjob says Sheri Moon looks like a crack whore.
Like,
shut your mouth.
Cornjob has to stop listening.
Yeah, Cornjob. Cornjob can listen, but
Melissa says what I'm telling you to speak up because I want to hear what you say.
I'm dying and old, Melissa. Like it's
Sheri Moon has
amazing
gotten
that
old.
I'm here.
Sheri Moon has gotten better as the movies have come along, and she still looks great.
And Melissa says Sheri Moon is hot. She is amazing playing baby.
Yeah,
There
she
you go.
is.
There you go.
Somebody intelligent in
So
the conversation.
M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong has The Visit coming out later this year.
I'm gonna have to see some fucking serious good reviews before that guy gets any more of my money ever.
That's fair. I think he's got one more left in the tank.
Yeah, well, why? You know, what is it?
Shyamalan
One every 10 years?
He is a hack.
Well, Sixth Sense is great.
Yeah.
Signs.
Unbreakable is great.
Unbreakable is great, and Signs is my favorite of all of them.
I
enjoyed
couldn't get through Signs, and when Signs hit that, that's when it started taking a nosedive. I think he's a hack director.
What about The Happening? What's happening, guys?
What happening?
What's happening?
Shitty fucking ending. I was
That was
totally
it.
on board till the fucking end.
I'll tell you.
What about Lady in the Water?
That was a fine little.
You know
cute
who
little
likes
film.
Lady in the Water, and I still don't know if he's putting
Nobody.
me on? Tiny White.
I like Lady in the Water.
me?
I do.
Lady in the Water.
No, it was a fun little.
Reservoir Doug says King Kong Bundy would play Dynamo.
5.
That's fair.
5.
That's how I feel.
5 frescas.
That's true. And then Cornjob says,
Don't wake up.
somebody intelligent, you better not be involved in the convo then.
You gotta go, Cornjob.
We know who you are. I don't know why you
Yeah,
change
I mean,
your
I don't
name
know,
every
like-
week.
I like the name change, but this persona is like the many faces of Mick Foley. This is the Peaches the Clown one. This is the only one to keep.
It's not even Dude Sunshine?
No.
Oh, no. Dude Sunshine was someone else. Dude Love. So, I guess we'll get into some feedback.
Did you just take a picture of a? Did you just look at a picture of a man and a woman and like make it so you couldn't see the man in the picture and just like check out the woman?
No, they're both girls.
Oh, you just
I'm
check
just
it.
a friend of mine.
Except for the mustache.
That's not a mustache.
You two are bad. Like you guys are really like.
Yeah, and to think we only do it with one phone,
Yeah,
not with a virtual assortment of phones on your side, dude.
Bring back that photo.
I got a real book.
No, I'm not going to bring back the photo.
Just go fuck yourself.
All right. Well, let's get to some feedback here. We heard from. Oh, let's hear from our boy Josh. What's Josh have to say?
Hey, Trick or Treat Radio guys, it's Josh here. I'd like to call in and apologize. I was really trying to watch Cub, but I just didn't get the chance. I'm actually deep in the woods of Maine at the time. In a campground. Top secret stuff. But yeah, I was hoping to get to watch it before we left, or even brought it on the laptop. I was hoping to get to watch it maybe this evening, but didn't get a chance. I did definitely want to call in, though, just to say that last week's call was not a joke.
Come on.
I really did enjoy the film.
Come on.
I know you guys didn't, but, I guess I'll just have to accept that. So, hey, I hope you guys have a great 3-year, 2-week anniversary show.
Thank you.
And I'm going to try to call in next week. I definitely want to watch Cub, so I'll probably call in next week about Cub and whatever next week's film is. So, hey, you guys have a good one.
I bet you won't.
The 3-year, 2-week anniversary was great.
Yeah, this is not.
Thank you.
I can do.
All right, so let's hear from. I don't know who this is. I don't know if it's Nana or Nana. Is it Prince Nana? All right, let's hear from Nana.
I'm yours, sticker.
What? That's it? Here's Nana Part 2.
Sorry about the up yours, nigger.
What? What the fuck? Who are these people? Jesus Christ. All right, well, we got another one. This is from
Nana apologized anyway.
Name Game of the Beast.
Uh-oh.
Oh, is this who I think it is?
I hope so.
All right, well, let's check it out.
Hello, Trick or Treat Radio. In my ongoing search for sweets, I come across many other beasts. Few who possess my beat skills, but I digress. Each of you reminds me of a fellow monster. Wolfenstein is the best looking Sasquatch I have ever seen. MonsterZero is a big-lipped cave troll. Dynamo, you are a Nougat beast. Not dissimilar from myself. And Ravenshadow is Italian. Marz, I hope you enjoy the treat I sent you. Au revoir.
I didn't get it.
That's a good segue. Apparently,
who was that? Cookie Monster?
Apparently, because of the events of the last show, when Johnny dropped off the DVD to me, people think that the shop is a good way to reach out to Trick or Treat Radio. So the shop.
I bet the shop doesn't think so.
No, they're actually frowning upon things. I was talked to today.
Shap.
But no, there was something left in my box, and it was for Dynamo, and it was a treat for you from. It's something about CB was on the post-it note.
Nice nougat.
It's nougat.
What is it? Oh, look at this. Three Musketeers bar.
That's a good one.
Yeah. There's a lot of nougat in there.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, it's all nougat.
Whipped up, fluffy chocolate on chocolate taste.
I'm gonna go home and make sweet, sweet love to that.
Yeah, so that's from the CB.
It's all fluffed up for you there.
Well, you could tell the people that at that shop that you hang out at when I go there, it's definitely not to see you.
Hey,
Shap.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thank you, Chocolate Beast. Apparently, I'm a sexy Sasquatch again.
And I'm a big lip troll.
Well, it's true.
Every day is like
shit.
Wednesday.
I like to think that my lips are full. Thank you.
Full of what?
You got some DSLs there, though. I'll tell you that much.
He doesn't have fiber optics. He's got DSL. Is that so? You think he's got DSL?
Yeah, he'll really push that data through.
Oh, if it gets cold enough.
Any port in the storm?
Hey. It's exciting.
All right. Well,
except it stands for downtown sucking lips.
It's a bad segment.
Well, when he goes downtown Necronomicon. Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of exciting, we heard from our friend, longtime listener, second-time caller.
Good morrow, Trick or Treat Radio. Wooberman here. I'm glad my previous missive brought you such glee. I feel I must thank you for staying aware of your episode length, as I'm led to believe that an erection that lasts more than 4 hours is cause for concern. So for my health, thank you. So to business. You wish to know whether we have sounding and docking here in the old world. Well, I know there's a slight language gap between what we say here and what you say over there. Over here, Fanny is a vagina. Anyway, let me look this up.
Oh, really?
So, yes, there's Bing. Okay. Docking.
I love Wooberman.
Okay. Oh. Bickley, why is there super glue in the ham cream jar? Sorry, gentlemen. The answer is yes. Yes, we do. Any other requests? Yes. Don't look at me like that. Get the acetone. I don't care if hooligans are loose in Shaftesbury. Damn it, man. Help me.
Oh, man. Nice.
Thank you, Wooberman.
Thank you, Wooberman. Bravo.
Brilliant. That is brilliant.
Oh, watch out for them ruffians.
It's bloody brilliant.
Wooberman, you are my second favorite Brit.
I love him going on about that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm glad he used Bing. We got a couple cents out of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I fucking love that dude.
We get a lot of love from across the pond. I do miss. I'll admit it. On a voicemail point of view, I very much miss Sir Isaac, though.
Yeah, I don't know where he's been. Apparently,
that's the problem. I don't. I don't know where to send the police if he doesn't call.
We have to go to England.
Why?
Road trip?
Yeah, broadcast from a fucking double-decker bus.
Broad trip?
A brogue trip.
The plane would look like the Hound of Baskerville with you on it.
It'd be exciting.
Oh, my God.
GSBH says, LOL, chocolate beats. Gene Siskel loves the chocolate beast. They should do a team up. How about that for a podcast? Gene Siskel's balding head and the chocolate beast.
It's a fucking show.
Chris G says, break it down, Dynamo. Check for razor blades. Melissa says, check for razor blades in there.
Melissa, anyone who knows my love for Three Musketeers and Snickers knows that I will chew that razor blade.
GSBH says, Three Musketeers, yeah, baby.
It's like this show, right?
Melissa says, sexy lips.
Ooh.
Hey now.
You are fucking over, man.
Yeah, you are over.
I don't think she's saying he has sexy lips.
I think she is.
No.
Are you talking about me, Melissa?
No.
We'll find out in a couple minutes.
We'll find out.
Chris G says, "Caw, that's bloody brilliant." It was.
I hope she doesn't mean him. They ruined the show.
Thank you.
Lip sync will mean something totally different.
Yeah. Thank you, Wooberman. That was fucking great.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that was awesome. So we also have an email this week.
Nice.
From Doug, a.k.a. Reservoir Doug Warren.
Nice.
Oh, shit.
Subject is the tuck dance.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Speaking of sexy lips.
Now you got my attention.
Yeah. He says, hello, true believers of Trick or Treat Radio. This is my first email to the show. It also could be my last. Who knows? First off, I'd like to apologize to MonsterZero. With that out of the way, I'd like to discuss MonsterZero's future
Hold
performance.
on. First of all, I want to know who really typed this.
Why?
Reservoir Doug typed this?
I don't know.
What did he type it on? Like a
Well, who cares? He sent us a missive.
Okay.
That's what matters. With that out of the way, I'd like to discuss MonsterZero's future performance of the Silence of the Lambs tuck dance.
Okay.
For some odd reason, I can't stop thinking about this. I wish it was because I was gay, but that just isn't the case. I think it's because of the horror aspect that this dance will bring. I know it will be like looking into the Ark of the Covenant, and I know it will leave mental scars just like walking in on your parents having a threesome with a clown. But this dance, better yet, this horror needs to be captured for all the world to witness, not just one or two people. But I find it needs to go beyond the dance. The whole film sequence needs to be reshot with the rest of the Trick or Treat Radio cast. Oh, shit. We would have Johnny Wolfenstein play Catherine, Ravenshadow as the dog, of course, MonsterZero's Buffalo Bill, and Dynamo as the music, because he's a dick and always tries to steal the show. So to avoid that, we keep him off camera.
That's fair. And also nobody wants to see me, so it's like win-win.
To set the scene, Dynamo singing Goodbye Horses. Wolfenstein tosses a bucket up from the well. Of course, there's a pack of butts, a beer, and a comic tied to the rope to attract Ravenshadow. Flash to MonsterZero getting ready. Back to the well, then back to MonsterZero for the big reveal, or should I say, the tuck. But the one change is MonsterZero would be wearing a Dynamo hairpiece, goggles, and makeup. Oh, the horror. But this needs to be. It has to be. But what is the price tag to have this happen? $1? $1 million? $1? Really, I have no idea. So that is why I call upon the Trick or Treat Radio friends and MonsterZero enemies to donate to this epic, might I even say historic cinematic moment.
You could make a Dynamo Merkin for the tuck dance.
Oh, God.
So
you have the hair.
So give until it hurts so that MonsterZero has to man up and perform for the world. It's great to get that off my chest. I feel all relieved like when you have one of those loud farts that shake the room. Dynamo knows. Anyways, boys and girls, thanks for your time. Love, Reservoir Doug. P.S. Ravenshadow, you have an awesome day.
Thanks, bud.
Wow. That's what you had to say to Ravenshadow?
Trying, brother. Thank you. Usually I get
on a high note.
I get go fuck myself, but I like that.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Thank you. We have access to a green screen. Just saying, like, this is evolving.
Yeah, this is starting to morph into something big.
This could be a short film.
All right. So thank you, Reservoir Dog, for writing in. We appreciate that. Let me check the Twitter machine over here. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we have Jeanette from Haunting TV.
All right.
She sent a photo and says, "If Wolfenstein was an octopus," and there's an octopus with a monocle and a hat.
Holding on to a cup of Java.
Subtext.
Vegan coffee.
Monocle.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
I love that.
Hippie coffee.
So
hippie coffee.
We heard from our buddy JT.
Snip.
Plug-in 401 Stories. This is 401 Stories presents a Grimm Brothers adaptation for you this week, featuring guest stars from Trick or Treat Radio. Hey. Awesome. And Haunting TV also tweeted out, says, check out our friends the Deadites and their awesome podcast show, Trick or Treat Radio. And they included a link. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. So that's it for the Trick or
Tweet
moment. And we have one more voicemail.
Oh.
This is from Ravenshadow Song.
Uh-oh.
All right, well, let's see what's up.
What do you think it's about?
Oh, when the smoke clears up and burns the tar up on your lungs, and your throat gets hot, and your legs get entirely numb. Under the black smoke, Ravenshadow collapses on the ground, yeah. On a blanket full of blood is where he'll be. Hey. Under the black smoke, he's dead on the ground. Under the black smoke, lifeless just like a bomb. Under the black smoke, life goes on passing by. Under the black smoke, time sure does fly by. Under the black smoke, black smoke.
Oh my God!
Was that sung in Flemish?
At that point, I think about quitting.
I don't think he's gonna make it.
That is you.
Me?
That's what you sound like.
No.
Yeah.
A little bit early in the show, but that was the 40 talking.
Oh,
fine.
Man, we got a last second voicemail. I don't know if I want to play this. It's Nana Part 3, or Nana. Let's see.
The wife, though, Eleanor, big dyke. Oh, huge dyke. A real rug muncher. Looked like a big lesbian mule.
I think Nana needs to use the Amazon link and buy some new equipment.
Or quite a filter, anyway.
That was weird.
That was a little weird. All right, well, cool. Well, that's it for feedback this week, folks. And I think we're going to get under 3 hours for the first time in weeks, which would not be bad.
No.
I know, Ravenshadow, you want to get some food, right?
Yeah, I'm fucking hungry.
What are you going to get?
Need some nicotine, too, man.
Yeah. Almost
The nicotine Titans.
Golden Pie taste?
Oh, I think some McDoubles.
McDoubles?
Are on the menu.
Do you know there's a Golden Pie taste right around the corner?
Yeah, right down there.
En route?
Yeah, en route.
Yeah, well, I got like $3.
So you're going to get McDonald's.
Yeah, well, dollar menu.
That dollar menu.
That's good for you.
Yeah, well, that's fucking what's going to do me in.
I went to McDaniel's with my assistants
McDaniel's?
the other day, and
McDougal's?
that dollar menu is not like both of them walked out of there with like $9 worth of food. That's not his dollar menu as it used to be, seemingly.
Well, yeah, well, I mean, you need something. It's a long ride to my next.
To what?
My neck of the woods.
You just don't finish your sentences anymore now?
I'm not sure. I figured.
Jesus.
It's on the way to the neck of the woods.
All right, well, we're going to wrap things up, I think.
Yeah.
Yay.
What do you think of that?
I'm so excited.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
I got 3 reasons, and they all have swords and weird hats, and taste like delicious nougat.
Nougat.
I love
Stop
nougat.
twisting the truth.
Stop twisting the truth. All right, well, MZ, have any final thoughts for any of your fans out there? Apparently not.
No.
Good talk. And
no, it was good. It was good to hear from all my fans.
Oh, your fan.
From my fan, Melissa.
Actually,
she's my
if
biggest
if
fan.
you
I
have
think.
two fans, you're out fanning Michael Ravenshadow.
Hey,
It's true.
Well,
yes.
that's true. And you know what? I think Tom C has some serious competition right
Yeah,
now.
who is out fan and who Michael Ravenshadow is out fanning me by one.
Hey.
Chris G says mozzarella sticks from Mickey D's. Can't get behind that.
Oh, Snoop.
Is that true?
You haven't done it right.
Are you gonna get a Mick Lobster?
No, I don't. I'm not big on seafood.
I think the only thing that scares me more than being in the ocean is when McDonald's serves food that is allegedly from the ocean.
Yeah.
It's definitely not from the ocean.
No, that's bad. That's like fucking Cthulhu flesh.
Reservoir Doug says excellent show.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you, Doug.
Doug, the
Thanks
fact
for
that
writing
you
in.
are on board and in the chat really is you're making my day, sir. You're a prince and a scholar.
He's not your highness over here though.
Yeah. Magic catfish.
Prince
401
fish.
stories.
You would be a fucking catfish.
What's a catfish? It was acting.
Yeah.
Acting.
You got weird whiskers, a big mouth, and smell.
He probably just told you he was going to give you a 40 of Miller High Life. If
He
you
did give me a
it
40 of Miller High Life. I got to smoke in the patio. It was fun.
Oh, one thing I wanted to mention, we had someone who had posted a comment on one of our YouTube videos from way back. This is the guest and Borgman episode. Let me see which episode this was. 126.
What's this?
Someone posted a comment. It
Oh,
was,
okay.
The Fazani Ferengi says, love the pod. That's for, short for podcast.
No shit.
Well, he didn't know.
What's up in those things that
He doesn't know a lot of things. If you were to teach him everything he doesn't know, he'd be here for fucking forever.
Well, that was relevant to the statement I just made. What?
I guess in
What?
all fairness, he could have just, for no reason at all and no tangential explanation, could have been talking about storage pods.
I was thinking, I'm like that fucking. You can put your fucking dishes in there.
Or maybe
Dishes.
I got a lot of
Invasion of the
dishes.
Body Snatchers kind of pods.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Raven Shadow, any final comments
No,
before we go?
MonsterZero fucking ruined it. Isn't it nice when he leaves early?
No, I like when he stays.
Yeah, it's
I
fucking
don't
great.
think. I think the show stops when MonsterZero leaves.
Good.
I bring life to the crowd, man.
Yeah,
All right.
apparently.
You have any final comments there, Ravy?
No, I think we covered it.
Raisin Shadow?
Ooh.
All
401
right.
stores.
All right. MZ, I know everyone loves to hear it, so before Dynamo takes us out of here, why don't you go ahead and say your goodbye to the folks?
Yes, it was a wonderful night. I had a lot of fun. Arrivederci, douchebags.
And Dynamo, why don't you tell the folks once again if they go get the Horror Crossover Encyclopedia?
We'll give you a copy of the Big Scary Monster Hunts at Midnight, a digital copy, or maybe some other treats. Or if you already have all of our jams, perhaps we can do something here on Trick or Treat Radio, a little skit, or sing a song, or anything. One of these dudes can do your voicemail on your iPhone or your other digital telephone device, or whatever you want. Just buy this book.
Yeah,
and, it's,
buy it and show us, and we'll figure out the rest. All right, send us a picture, post it on the Fib. That's the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or you can do it through Twitter, Instagram. Just tag us at the Deadites with your picture of the Horror Crossover Encyclopedia.
And that still goes for all the past ones we said, and any of our friends. If you pick up some teal, some Genki Genki Panic, the Evil Streaks will hook you up, because part of this community is the great relationships, or the crossovers, if you will, that we've made. And I am not a good enough writer or a speaker to thank you guys properly for hanging out, downloading, listening, and chilling out with us live in the chat room. But I'll do my best, in just as as MonsterZero would say, "Fuck you guys." I mean, thank you. I just messed those two up. So remember, children.
Or you could do the other one. Lost.
What, Jake?
Lost in time, like a bug in a jar. No matter where you go, there you are.
The other one, Jake from the Cult of Muscle?
No.
Remember, children, wherever you go, there you are.
All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning into episode 159 of Trick or Treat Radio. Next week, we're going to do the Wednesday Night Wars. We want you to join us for Outside the Cinema, 6 p.m., 8 p.m. 8:30, somewhere in there, we're going to do Trick or Treat Radio a little bit early. We're going to review Vendetta and a Pro Wrestling Guerrilla wrestling show called Mystery Vortex 3. And I'm not sure if they announced what they're going to do over on Outside the Cinema yet, so we won't announce it. But you could be sure they're going to be some crazy 80s wrestling-related flicks. So if you are around, you should definitely join us because those guys are awesome. They do a great show, and we have a blast every time we get to team up with those guys. So go ahead and join us next week. We'll post some events, details, but we hope to see you next week. All right, folks. See you.